Hello, welcome to the stream. Let me turn down my fucking music on my end. I think it's probably fine for you guys. It might be a little loud. I'll turn it down just a scoosh. It's the Stardew Valley soundtrack. If anyone is curious about what I'm ever listening to, it's always the Stardew Valley soundtrack because I won't get DMCA'd. And also, usually I don't really listen to music when I draw unless I'm like super in the mood. I definitely don't listen to music without words. I usually listen to 2000s pop punk because I am 36 and that's the music I listened to when I was 17. And that's what you stick with for the rest of your life. It turns out that never goes away. It was not a phase, Mom. I don't think my mom ever thought it was a phase. My mom still listens to like Led Zeppelin, so I think she understands it was not a phase. Anyway, we are working on, at least my fantasy today is that I am working on version 2.0 of my PNG tuber. So this is just a rough pose that I made real quick. I don't even think I'm going to stick with it. Let me Make a little folder for the sketch. Boop, boop. This is just to give me a vague idea of where things are going to be for the pose. I want him to be holding a controller when I'm playing video games. And I want him to be holding a pen when I'm not playing video games, when I'm drawing. And I'll do like a PNG overlay of like a tablet. One of those big old ones, like the Cintiq kinds, even though that's not the kind of tablet that I draw on. I don't use a Cintiq tablet. I use a 1,000-year-old Wacom. Which I guess goes to show you can use whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, join me, won't you? Or don't, I guess. I don't know. I'm not your dad. You don't have to join me if you don't want to. This is just to give me a vague idea of where I want my arms to be. I want them to be a little higher than that. But this at least gives me a vague idea of like the sizing and the proportion. Dun, 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 dun. Let me just get a little pink guy. This is a controller. I'm gonna make like a fancy, stupid controller for that. He's gonna go down to the waist just about. And then I will kind of sculpt this into what I want it to be. Let's hide that. Yeah. So that's the very, very rough pose we're going with. I will move this a little bit. Maybe thicken the neck up a little bit. He's got that big old stuff. It doesn't have to be accurate right now. Again, this is just really to figure out like where things are gonna be. Alright, let's do rough 2, I guess is what I'll call this. I guess I'll title it rough 3. It's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so we're going to go over this and try to figure out the pose. I'm not going to be drawing expressions just yet, because obviously I need to have 2 different expressions. I need to have the mouth open and mouth closed, so we're just not going to worry about that for right now. His character design has changed a tiny bit, which is part of why I'm doing this. He's got some earrings that go there now. Only on the left side. On the right side he doesn't have those. I just wanted some visual interest on the opposite side. He's got a very tiny nose. Let me see. Somebody did a really good drawing. Actually, a bunch of people have done really good drawings. That's not accurate. A bunch of people have done really good drawings. But beloved Sickly Jelly / Tori, who is Sickly Jelly over at twitter.com, did this with these. And I love that. So I've kind of stolen that shape. I like that it goes like lower behind the neck. So I've stolen that shape. So I think that works much better. I think it provides much more visual interest. He's always had the turtleneck. It's always been kind of a turtleneck, so that's me, but everything else. It's a little bit more dirtbag, which I really like, because that's kind of the vibe I was going for. I was going for like a dirtbag Prince. Might have to make this file a little bit taller. Height. We can always cut it back. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, beloved pasta. This is very, very much just the rough sketch. I'll probably go over this a couple more times just to maybe make sure we're on the right page for what I want it to be. I'm doing well. I wanted to get this done by next week, so I figured if I do it here, it will be better. If I do it on stream, it will keep me focused, and I won't just start it and then go play more Cult of the Lamb, which I'm enjoying a lot, by the way. I don't know if it's a stream game for me. Um, I probably will stream it a little bit more. I definitely will stream it a bit more because I am having fun on the stream. Just I wasn't very I didn't feel like I was terribly entertaining while I was streaming it last time, which was boring. I was mostly just talking about like the mechanics and like asking my questions, self questions, like what does that do? Why is that doing that? And I wasn't really engaging with the chat. Hello, Jarvie Shark. Hello. And it's just I don't know. I don't feel like it was very entertaining. I haven't looked back at it. I haven't like. Sometimes I listen back to like bits and pieces of my old streams just to see like if I'm not talking loud enough, if I'm mumbling too much. And I think I was. Okay, so that's super rough. We're gonna tighten that up and make that way better. Rough 3. I'm here and tired. I'm also here and tired, but I kind of just woke up. I didn't really sleep that well. Um, I felt that way in the middle of my cooking streams, usually just in your own head. Yeah, that's really what my problem was, I think, with the Cult of the Lamb stream. Because it was a blind playthrough, I was learning mechanics. I was figuring out, like, what buttons to push. I was figuring out, like, what things did. And I don't know. I don't feel like it was terribly entertaining to watch. Because I wasn't really engaging with chat. But there was not a lot of people in chat, so it's not like I had a lot to engage with either. It is what it is. Sometimes you get people who are very chatty and they give you something to bounce off of, which is very, very nice. Definitely makes I don't want to call it a job. It's not a job. It's just a hobby. It definitely makes like the streaming and chatting portion easier when people talk. I think it's okay if you figure stuff out on stream. You don't have to fill the silence. I feel like I do have to fill the silence, though. I definitely don't like watching people who don't talk. Unless it's like they're not talking on purpose, that's fine. Like if we're listening to music, and that's the vibe. But like, I'm talking on purpose. He doesn't have a face for a reason, so don't worry about that. He doesn't have a face because he's gonna have 2 different expressions. Maybe. Da, 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 da. Like trying to figure out how to say it. I like the talking part. Part of what I like to do is talk. So it's kind of disappointing when people like aren't talking back to me and I just kind of have to like talk to myself. Makes me sad. That's just not a skill I have yet. Basically, I'm sure eventually I will. I'll be better at just like having conversations by myself. I imagine that comes with the territory of streaming a bunch. I think his arms are a little too much. I'm not strong. He might be a little bit stronger than me, but I'm not that strong. Definitely don't want him to be too muscular. Da, da, da. I'm still in the early days of streaming. It's something they say often that as long as you keep doing it consistently, people will come. Yeah, that's so far been my experience. I am not going to PAX, so it doesn't matter. But also, absolutely not. I'm not painting myself green. I have my lungs are bad. I'm not going anywhere until COVID-19 is over. There is no PAX for me. I also, and this is blasphemous, and I recognize this, and nobody's allowed to judge me. I don't like PAX. Not because of PAX. Like, PAX itself is fine. I don't like conventions. I don't like them. I don't find them fun. I find them very stressful. Which is not PAX's fault specifically. That's just, like, really the only convention I ever go to. I don't enjoy it. I like seeing my friends, but, like, then I have like 3 or 4 days of imposter syndrome bullshit to deal with. And then I go home. Oh, the answer is no. 1, because I don't cosplay, and 2, I don't go to PAX. I'm not going to PAX. I recognize it's in my backyard. I will not be there. I'm absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. Going to the grocery store is hard enough. I've never been to a con. I'm not sorry. Yeah, cons suck and I hate them. It's not specifically PAX that I don't like. I don't like conventions. I just don't like them. I don't want to go to them. That's okay. Perhaps we can hang out outside, do some graffiti and shit. Yeah, if anyone wants to get like a lunch with me or something, I could probably swing that, depending on like what day you want to go and what day someone has free. But I'm not going to PAX. I will be live tweeting any game they do from the comfort of my own house. The only one I wanted to go to was RoseCon in Portland to meet Adam Savage, but I went to Emerald City Comic Con like twice. It happened twice while I lived in Seattle. That was pretty chill because that was not a convention like PAX. One, at PAX I am like not obligated. That's not the right word. The right word is not obligated. I have to grab my controller so I can see what my hand looks like holding a controller. Give me a moment. Okay. Let me take a photo of that real quick. That is not an angle that I can see from myself. Ah! TikTok, shut up. Oh. Don't want to see my face. Just want to see my hand. Come on, let me do this. Okay. Alright. Adam Savage, sparkly anime eyes. Yeah, he's a cool guy. He is a cool guy. I will definitely clean this up later. That's at least a better vibe. It's a better starting point. But yeah. I love his YouTubes. I'd rather pay his Patreon money to ask a question rather than miss in person to meet him. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He does what he loves, and he's very passionate about it, which I really like. I've only watched a little bit of his YouTube stuff. I haven't super jumped into that. Just sometimes I want to watch video essays about like Monster High dolls, and sometimes I want to watch people play video games. But sometimes I want to learn about science. I want to learn about science, baby. I think this has to be lowered. No, I do not want it to be black. Again, stop it. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright, I think that's basically the gist. So that's basically the sketch we're going to go with. We will figure some more stuff out as we ink. Again, we're not inking the face. The face is going to be its own thing after I'm done. We're just going to focus on the body right now. The only thing that sucks is that I can't use the inker I usually like to use. Or at least I can't use it on the outside. Because you can see there's kind of like a weird pixel. It has a name. I think it's called Halo. The white halo that's around my thing. That's because I can zoom in real quick. My brush is very textured. You could see like, let me get a different color right quick so I can circle it. You can see right here, it's not like completely black. It's not completely opaque. And I like that for inking. I think it's very interesting. Goodbye, Pasta. I will still be here. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but I'm going to be doing it for a while. But that halo makes for not a very smooth PNG. But I might just go over the outline with like a regular like G pen. Maybe that's what I'll ink it with. The G pen. That's nice and sharp. Could always go larger. Yeah, let's try the G pen. We'll see how it feels for a little bit. And if I don't like it, then I will switch. Oh, I already hate this. I already hate it, but it looks good, so I should probably just keep trying it. I like texture brushes. I don't think that's strange. I hate this. I hate it. But it's gonna look better as the PNG tuber if I use this brush. Maybe I'll just go over the outline with that. I just gotta be careful. Or I could always do the halo trick. It doesn't always work. I'll try it. I will try it. I like art streaming to get stuff done, but I can't do mic because I can't talk and draw at the same time. I can, I found. That's like the easy one. Yeah, this brush feels better. I have to use this one. I gotta use this one. I found I can. Because I used to do... I had a girlfriend a really long time ago, and we would talk and draw at the same time, like, over Discord. And that was just easier. It was, like, a nice way to bond and, like, have a conversation while we were also, like, getting stuff done. Like, her job was comics. So it made sense that she would want to talk and do stuff at the same time. Yeah. I usually just listen to music, but I find I get more stuff done if I stream. I find I am just much more productive if I'm not left to my own devices. Because I am not a productive person. I used to be. I used to be able to focus for many hours at a time, and then I got deeply traumatized, and now my brain doesn't work anymore, and it sucks. Maybe I'll do that. Just a little hole right there. Just looking at the size of it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just check my reference real quick. That's not my reference. These are my references. His ears are very pointy out. His character design has changed a skosh since I started. Let me get this guy. So this is the more accurate design now. He's got ripped up jeans. I just got here. Sorry to hear your brain doesn't work. It sucks. Yeah, it hasn't worked in a very long time. It super sucks. He's got extra earrings right here. He's got purple gloves now instead of black ones. So he's just changed his goosh. Just a bit. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes you meet a person on the internet and they convince you to move very, very far away. And then they mistreat you the whole time. And then you move back and you are not the person you were before. And even though it's been 10 years, it continues. You are still healing from it. This is a universal experience we've all experienced. Everyone has moved to Fargo, North Dakota, and regretted it. Probably. I think everyone who does move to Fargo, North Dakota does regret it. That one I think is fair. Did he rip his own jeans or did he fight from another cactus? He is rich, I think. I think he's a spoiled prince, so he probably bought them pre-ripped because he's a poser. He is a poser. I think that is true to his character, and also true to mine. Because every pair of ripped jeans I've ever had, I bought pre-ripped. For the aesthetic. Fargo, North Dakota does not sound like the kind of place... Does sound like the kind of place one would regret moving to. Agreed. I can confirm there is nothing to do there, but listen to meth labs explode. And have people be racist. People are so racist there, and then they expect you to be racist? Like, they're like, clearly you're white, so you're also like this. And I'm like, no, sir. Why would you say things like that? It's a little too straight. This has to be curved just a skosh. I know whoever was born there now, and I know someone who was born there now lives in Boston. Yep. That's fair. She's very racist. Top 10 racist mutuals. I try not to have racist mutuals. If I find out I have a racist mutual, they leave. I understand you're making a joke, but I'm just saying. If I found out one of my mutuals was like crazy racist, I'd be like, get out of here. I don't need to be following you. I did find out one of the people I followed a really long time ago. This is when like J.K. Rowling was still doing all her fucking nonsense. Like the early stuff, not the. I mean, she's still doing the nonsense. Let's be very clear. She has not stopped. Um, I found out one of my mutuals like straight up hated trans people. I was like, why are you here? I am trans people. Get out. I am one of those. The nonsense never stops. No. I guess if you are rich and you have the time to be as nonsensical as you want, why not, I guess. She's doing nothing but nonsense now. Yeah. I fucking heard about her goddamn book that is not about her. It's objectively about you. Like, you are creatively bankrupt. You have no brain cells. I think about how she started like the pseudonym that she writes under for adult books all the time because she was going to go the Stephen King route and just not tell people it was her. But nobody bought her fucking books when they didn't know it was her. So she told people it was her, and then she got like to be a bestseller under her really horrible pseudonym. Like, why even use the pseudonym? Like, Stephen King was proving a point. People did buy his books when he wasn't Stephen King. Granted, they bought his books because someone figured out it was Stephen King and they wanted to prove it. But still, I don't know. I've never read a Stephen King book. I don't know if he's a good writer. I know he is very into drugs. That's a bad shape for a head. Or I don't think he's actually very into drugs. He's very into like the horror of drugs. I don't think he's ever done drugs ever in his whole life. You can always kind of tell when someone's never done drugs. Yeah, I don't know anybody who's read the Robert Galbraith books. But again, I try not to interact with people who still make Harry Potter like their personality. He's a good writer sometimes. His volume means the quality varies. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Stephen has done a lot of drugs. Has he? Just calling him Stephen feels strange. Like, that's... like, he's Stephen King, specifically. When you say just Stephen, I think of Steven Universe. Even though Steven Universe is Steven Universe. But everyone just calls him Stephen. Nobody ever calls him Steven Universe on the show. That's just what the show is called. That's No, Mr. King is even worse. Mr. King is Martin Luther King. I don't know. He's just Stephen King. Like, it's one word. It is one word, Stephen King. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Let me check. I think this needs to be less obviously indented. Yeah, I like that more. Y'all talking about Steven Universe? Because I can do that now. I love Steven Universe. I think I need to make this taller. Change canvas size. We're going to go to 4400. Because I don't like the way this is shaped. It should be much longer and more elongated. Alright, help me out here. You go from circles and squares to a full body, because obviously I'm doing it wrong. Can you ask questions? I don't know if I could do it on a YouTube video. I could do it here. This is how I do shapes. I usually do very, very quickly. I block out the pose as if it's a shadow. So we'll just do like a Sailor Moon kind of thing right here. So this is where the shoulders are. This is where the torso is. Neck. I'm not going for what the pose is going to look like at the end. I'm just going for if it looks good in a shadow. So, and then I'll lower that down, and then I'll go over that with a circle for the head, which I then turn kind of... I forget who showed me this technique. We're gonna do a tangent real quick. Let's do this much darker. This is an orange. For heads, what I like to do is to imagine somebody stapled a piece of paper to an orange, so you can kind of see, like, it's got kind of a curved edge to the paper, and that kind of gives you like the jaw line. So then you can go over that with like a dark line, and then there's the nose, and then there's the jaw, and then there's the back of the head, anime eyes. That's how I picture heads, for me personally. That is the technique that worked for me. That helped me really visualize that in a 3D space. That is the first thing that's ever helped me visualize it. So maybe it will help you too. Picture an orange with a piece of paper taped to it. Uh, so you get that curvature. And I'm far enough now that I don't ever have to make the orange. I don't have to draw the orange anymore. I don't have to do that. Um, Once you get far enough in art, you don't have to do as much under sketching. Does that make sense? Like you kind of just get that as second nature. Um, I think of it as volumetric. I am of the sculpting. Yeah, I've moved beyond the orange. The orange is there in the back of my mind, but I don't have to draw it out anymore. You know. And I'm from the kind of sculpting level of art, which doesn't work for everybody, but works for me. Um, Sculpting is kind of like where you do like the big lines and then you kind of like nitpick. You kind of just shave things away, you know. But you do kind of want to be quick about it. You don't want to get too finicky with it. I'm not the best person to teach art, which is why I don't. I briefly tried to, and I realized I'm just not good enough at it to explain like how to do it. Because I am self-taught, so I do what I do, and I'm not great at anatomy. So, but also looking at life helps. What really helps is tracing, and I know that's cheating. But tracing over real poses is how you're gonna like figure it. Not like tracing. Like you don't want to take like the regular pose. Let me just find a guy real quick. I'm just gonna pick a guy standing. Guy standing is the name of a real man, apparently. That's not useful to me. We're just gonna copy him real quick. When I say tracing, what I don't mean is this. So we're just gonna... What I don't mean is go over it with a black outline and like do that. I don't mean that. Like that is not going to teach you anything. That doesn't show you anything about how volume works. It's just going to make things look very inorganic and bumpy. What I do mean by tracing is, go through and try to find like the areas of articulation. So here's his head. His torso is kind of like a rectangle. His stomach is kind of like a softer rectangle. And then his hips are kind of like their own rectangle. His elbows. Some people use circles, some people use lines. Usually I use lines, but I feel like sometimes it's easier to understand if it's circles. And that kind of gives you a vague idea of like how these kind of poses work. Yeah, you kind of want to focus on the movement and the vibe rather than like the accuracy, you know? Art is not about capturing like what's in reality. It's about making things clear. It's about clarity, you know? So like that's the pose, that's the guy's pose, but then you're going to go over that and figure out like, hey, this is where the collarbones go, and here's him, and you can make him fatter if you want. You can make him larger. You can thicken up his neck. You can make him more of like a fantasy guy. You can give him more muscles. Because now you have a vague idea of where the elbows are. You can even change the pose a bit. Because you know the elbow can only move like certain directions. So you know the elbow's going to be vaguely right here. And then you can add some volume. Does that make sense? I love not finishing things. I also love not finishing things. But that's basically how tracing works. When people tell you not to trace, what they mean is don't steal someone's like entire like finished art product. If you are just learning how to draw, tracing over shit is great. We're not doing this. We're doing this. Tracing over shit slaps. That's how you learn like how things are made. Break it apart and then put it back together. Keep doing that until you figure out like what it is you like about something. And you could do that even with like how people do line art. You can like lower the line art and try to figure out like the maybe the methods they used and like the order of operations that they went. You could do it with coloring. You can try to figure out like how did they manage to achieve this look. Well, I'm gonna try to do like a study of it. Um, Sorry if that's not like super helpful information. I am not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a person who has been drawing his entire life. I draw like someone's chasing me. Gotta keep moving. Yeah, and I feel like that's how you get like really like fluid, really good poses and expressions and interesting stuff. Like art is way more about capturing the vibe than it is about capturing reality. Yeah, I don't know if they're still here either. I think they left. It is what it is. Maybe I bored them. Maybe I didn't answer their YouTube thing. I can't teach people how to draw. But maybe you guys found it interesting. I don't know. I love tracing art that I like. I think I have to redraw this. Yeah, just don't post it. If you're stealing from other people, just don't post it. There's nothing wrong with doing it to figure out, like, how things work. You know? Like, I feel like that's, like, the big lie people told you. Don't use references and don't trace. You should trace. No, I did not come out of the pussy drawing Mozart. I came out of the pussy drawing nothing. Drawing absolutely nothing. I didn't really start drawing until I was like 8 or 9 years old. Probably a little bit later than that. And even then, I don't think I got good till about high school. I don't even know if I really got good ever. But I kept doing it. And here I am. I think I'm fine. And I think that's really all I need to do, especially since this is not my job. Art is not my job. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing art seriously, but like as a hobby. I think that's where some people get tripped up. So I've known people prefer rotating when they draw, and some people are sticklers for keeping the stage orientation. Is that a thing? I rotate when I draw because it makes it easier for me to see if things look correct. Sometimes if you're staring at something too long, you kind of lose sight of what it looks like. So I am a big fan of the rotation. Yeah, you just kind of there's no shortcut. Like every now and again you'll find the one like trick that really helps you level up very, very quickly, but that's not really what art's about. That's not what it's about. Invert the canvas, but I do rotate because it skews the figure. I do rotate my physical tab. I don't. I rotate on the drawing. Because I am a big fan of pulls and lines. Sorry, let me explain that real quick. This is a calligraphy trick that really helped me. When you're drawing curved lines, you want to pull down, so you want to pull like from the top. When you're drawing straight lines, you want to go towards it. You want to go like up, down, and up. So curves are down, straight lines are up. And I feel like that helps a lot. Because it kind of goes with like the whole, your wrist kind of naturally curves downward when it writes. Like that's a flick that you can do. You should be drawing with your wrist. You should be drawing with your whole arm. But yeah, you pull, push, pull, push. So that's a calligraphy trick that really helped me with line art. And yeah, that's just something you're used to. Yeah, no, the big things about drawing is you should learn to draw with your arms and not your wrist. Not necessarily because it makes it look better, but because it will save you so much pain down the line. Like, it hurts. It hurts, besties. It hurts. You want to do that because you don't want carpal tunnel. That's all. That's the big thing I can tell you when you're learning to draw. Don't learn to draw like a child who draws with their wrist. Learn to draw with your whole arm so you don't get fucking carpal tunnel. Because once you get into the habit of drawing with your wrist, it's really hard to break it because you do get much more like control. It's easier to draw with your wrist. It is, objectively. But also, I love carpal tunnel. This brace is sexy and not intrusive at all. Yeah, I don't have to wear a brace because I learned to draw with my whole arm. Uh, Rip to you, but I'm built different. I used to have to wear a brace when I was like in my 20s, when I was still drawing with my whole wrist. I wore a brace all the time because I was constantly in pain. But I trained myself out of it. It took a really long time, but I did train myself out of it. Not to brag, I learned to draw with my whole arm. I did. I am bragging. You should do it. I think this needs to be. Carpal tunnel is very sexy. It's getting old and the attractiveness trope. Carpal tunnel is not very sexy. It's very painful. My little brother, which is to say my 32-year-old brother, 33-year-old brother, is learning to draw. And that was like the big thing I told him. I was like, don't draw with your wrist. You're going to be tempted to draw with your wrist. Don't draw with your wrist. Draw with your arm. And I don't know if that helped him. Listen, sometimes I can't eat chicken nuggets. That one time. Once I couldn't eat chicken nuggets. And to be fair, I did eat them. They just gave me a tummy ache. I did successfully digest them. I did not puke or vomit. Or shit myself. None of those things happened. From Purdue, not even like real ones, like stupid ones from the grocery store. Stupid ones I threw in the air fryer without oil. It's not like I used oil. There was no reason for those to give me a tummy ache. Random street nuggets. Yeah. It's okay. I got a friend who got a five-piece spicy nugget from McDonald's and couldn't handle the heat, so I've seen some pathetic shit. They have spicy nuggets at McDonald's now? I didn't know that. I guess they're competing with Wendy's. I like the spicy nuggets from Wendy's. I just don't always want them. And whenever I get them on accident, it's always like a surprise. But usually I get them because my older brother accidentally hit the spicy nugget option first. So I didn't order them on purpose. I'll eat them. Like, I don't care. They're just not my preference. The spicy, they're pretty good. It's just, it's not always what I want. Every now and again I'll order them on purpose because I'll be like, I'm feeling spicy nuggets. I'm feeling some... I like the spicy nuggets with a different sauce that I usually get is the problem. Usually I get the honey mustard. And I don't want spicy nuggets with honey mustard. I think that's weird. I want the spicy nuggets with ranch. I don't really like ranch that much, but I like them with spicy nuggets. So if I don't have ranch, then I don't really want the spicy nuggets, you know? Does that make sense? Da, 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 da. The song slaps. Hello, Vikust. This McDonald's... I want McDonald's so bad. Is it late? Or can I order McDonald's? No. I had cereal like a half hour ago. I should not be ordering anything. I bought some Oreo O's. I don't know if you guys have ever had those. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I like them. Whoa, that is not the brush that I was using. The McNugget haters online. I mean, the McNuggets are fine. They're fine. They're nothing special. They heat up really well in the air fryer. Like, of all the nuggets that you can get from like those places, those definitely heat up the best. And they taste the best cold because they have that like nice crunchy outside. But Wendy's nuggets are the best. Wendy's nuggets are the superior nugs. I went to Taco Bell at 12:30 a.m. You can order 9:30 McDonald's. Yeah, but I don't have a car, bestie. You have a car. You can drive. I can't do any of those things. I have to get someone from DoorDash to do it, and if I do it now, sometimes it's really expensive. Oh fuck, I might get Taco Bell or its quesarito adders. Yeah, I can't just go there. I'm not walking to fucking uh, McDonald's at 10 p.m. Could. I'm choosing not to. I don't like this tangent. I don't like how thin that is. Maybe you should draw a car, scribble not. No. I would rather die than draw a car. I want to learn how to drive, but we don't have a car for me to practice on, so that has been on hold. I can't just walk into Taco Bell when there's not when there's 5 Yeah, you live in like Texas, right? Like you don't need to go to Taco Bell. Taco Bell is not. How is there even Taco Bell in Texas? Who goes there? Who goes to Taco Bell in Texas? God, I went to Austin for something once, and we went to like this like I don't even know what kind of place it was, but they had breakfast tacos that were like huevos rancheros, but as a taco. It was like the best experience of my life. It was so good. Taco Bell is the emergency junk food. Wendy's is closed. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Come be my roomie. I'll teach you to drive. Listen, I'm tempted. I have no fucking money to move right now, though. Moving is expensive. I want to see Nim. I want to be Nim's roommate. I don't really want to be your roommate. I want to be your cat's roommate. That's a joke. I do want to be your roommate. But also, I want to meet your cats. I want to meet Nim so bad, though. In my defense, Nim is the world's most perfect creature. And I want to see her. She's so cute. If you've never seen Leska's cats, they're so adorable. Alright. I don't like this drawing, I think is my problem. I think I need to start over. I'm gonna start over real quick. I just don't like it. It'd be like that. Alright. We'll put this as old. I think it just needs to be a little bit more refined. And it's just not a very good drawing. Sometimes art is realizing you don't like the art. No one told me that it rolled right into the curb the first time I drove a car. Jesus. For real, Ellie's thinking about moving to Texas in the winter, so I gotta start roomie hunting. I'm waiting for them to give me an actual date, though. Was it Texas? I thought it was like Michigan last time. Ellie, get your shit together. Maybe you did. Okay. I was like, maybe you did say Texas, and I just decided it was Michigan. No, it was Michigan. I think it's just a bad drawing. Finally, I get to attend a stream. Hoo-hoo! Hey, yo. Hello. Is it... How do you pronounce your username? Because there's a lot of letters that normally aren't next to each other. My brain always just decides it's Jinx. That's the order of operations my brain goes. But it is slightly in the wrong order. But maybe it is Jinx. Maybe that's the intention. This goes doubly so for driving in the snow. We've been delayed because of the stupid interest rates, so we gotta wait like 6 months. Ugh. Do you still have to clean your room and like your house and like put all your shit away during this 6 months? Because that sucks. All of that sucks. Oh yeah, you can just call me Nyx or Jinx. Oh, Nyx. Okay. That makes more sense. Cool beats. We're kind of restarting from scratch. Intentionally incomprehensive at first. Yeah. We have to do all that by Monday. Dude, that sucks. Everything about that sucks. Everything about that sucks. No, I haven't started. Jovi, you gotta start. Moo, is this the drawing of you trying to play a video game? It is. It's going to be the new PNG tuber. That's the fantasy. The fantasy is this going to be the new guy. Instead of the guy who's in the corner right now, I want it to be a better guy. A better drawn guy. Because the guy in the corner is fine. He's fine. It's not a great drawing, though. I would like a better drawing. A more accurate drawing to what this guy looks like now. Is this for your Space Teen? A MooTuber. Yeah. Boo. Tomorrow I'm writing D&D stuff today. Yes, I'm very excited about D&D stuff. I figured out my character's backstory, so I don't have to do anything anymore. I'm done. My stuff is done as a character. My stuff is done. I no longer have to do any more writing. I do have to finish a drawing of Can Opener. She has a bunch of drawings. It's just she used to be a wizard and now she is a fighter. And also she's in outer space. So they're not accurate. It's no longer relevant. Alright, I think this is a better shape. Let me try adding the face so I have at least a vague idea of like where. I think that's also part of why it looked weird. It's also why it looked weird. We were supposed to have a D&D session today, but last schedule interruption. It'd be like that. My Tuesday game gets canceled like constantly, which is fine. Obviously, we all have real lives, but I want to play D&D is the thing. We've had to cancel my D&D game once, and then we hopped right back into it the next week. So it ended up being okay. But cancellations happen. It'd be like that. Maybe I just don't want him holding a controller. Maybe that's part of my problem. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe he just doesn't need to be holding a controller. Maybe he can just have two different hand poses. Like he can have this one when he's talking, because he's a royal, so he kind of goes like that sometimes. I'll have to draw two different shoulders, basically, but that shouldn't be too bad. Like, one will be lifted and then the other one will be down when his hands are down. I think that's what's going to happen. I think the controller is just causing too many trubs, and it doesn't look good. He needs to be holding a Wiimote nunchuck. Maybe. Yeah, I think the controller is just causing me troubles, and I don't like the look of it. Maybe for 3.0. Most people's VTubers don't really hold controllers, so every now and again you'll get one that does. I don't usually play video games with a controller anyway. I usually play on a keyboard. The exception so far has been Cult of the Lamb, which definitely moves way better on a controller. I tried playing on a keyboard for like 10 minutes. I was like, no, this is not going to work for me. What if he was holding a controller but facing you? I don't want him to be facing you, is the thing. I want him to be slightly 3/4. So change the size real quick. Canvas prop. Nope, that's not what I'm meant to do. Change canvas size. No, I don't want him to be head on anymore. I think it looks weird. Because my dream is that he's going to be, when he's talking to you, his expression, I'll draw it out real quick. When he's looking at the video game, he's going to be like this. And when he's looking at you guys, he's going to be like this. So I want to go from that to that. I want it to just be a little bit more. I tried Hades on a keyboard after the Switch version. I was like, no, thank you. Agreed. Hades on the keyboard is insane. I don't know how people can do it. I'm sure some people can. It's not me. Absolutely not. Some games are just controller games. Like, you could probably play Kingdom Hearts for the PC on a controller. I don't know why you would on a keyboard. I don't know why you would. Okay, I think this is gonna be better. I think this is better. I think the controller was the issue. Yeah, I think that's gonna be better. So we'll just do this arm as like its own layer, and we'll ink everything else. All right. Sketch. We'll hide the old real quick. I'll probably just delete the old, actually. I don't really need it anymore. I know one person who plays Dark Souls on a keyboard, and I'm like, how? Why? I did play Dark Souls on a keyboard. I did not think that was that weird. But I've been playing a lot of games like that on keyboards. I also have a gaming mouse, so I was able to key a bunch of stuff to like the side buttons, so I think that was part of it. So it's not like I was constantly moving my hand. It's not like I was constantly moving my hands around the keyboard. My one hand was on the WASD, and then everything else was basically on the controller. The mouse, I mean. Rough. And we'll tighten this just a skosh. Sometimes art, besties, is about throwing shit away. It's about throwing things away. Go, Dolly. Make the controller your face. Boom. Incorporated. I mean, this is embarrassing, and I don't like admitting it. When I was really into World of Warcraft, I had one of those foot pedal keyboards. I used it for Hunter's Mark and Feigned Death. That's how into World of Warcraft I was. I bought a $300 peripheral. It's probably somewhere still in my house, unless I took it with me. Did I take it with me to Fargo? No, I don't think I did. No, I must have, because I definitely played World of Warcraft when I lived there. I might have left it there. Oh shit. That's another thing my ex best friend probably stole from me. Not stole. I guess I accidentally left it there. I stopped playing World of Warcraft around that time. Give or take. Give or take. Yeah, this drawing's much better. Much better. Yeah. Ex-besties are a weird one because, like, you mourn it like it's like a romantic relationship, but, like, everyone else just kind of expects you to get over it. They were deeply, horribly abusive towards me. So I don't really mourn it at all. I did for a while, and then I was told by a therapist that it's like, hey, you don't have to, like, feel bad for how you treated this person after you left. And I was like, you know what? I think you're right. Based on how they treated me while I was there. Story of my life is a person abuses me and then I have to make excuses for why I deserved it. Some people are broken fundamentally. It's me. I'm better now, for the most part. I have learned to trust people again. So I can make friends again for the first time in, like, I don't know, it took like 8 years. 8 years for me to be like, are you going to be the worst person I've ever met? I can't tell. So I'm just not going to talk to you. At least you got a cat. I did get the cat out of it. That is true. I got Indiana out of it. It's the only good thing about Fargo, North Dakota, is that I got Indiana out of it. But again, part of why I got Indiana is because my best friend was abusing me, and I was so sad, and I was like, I need a cat. The solution here is to buy a creature who will love me. Without condition. And then I did, and she does. I did a sociopath, and 8 years later I still can't date trust issues. Yeah. Yeah, like, me and the ex-bestie did not date, even though they wanted to. I did not want to, which was, like, the crux of why I was being abused. Um, like I don't want to get too into it, obviously for deep reasons, but it fucks you up forever. So now I'm kind of like, am I aromantic or am I just deeply abused? I think I'm just aromantic, so I don't think it super matters. Um, don't think that super matters. But they did, I will say, one last thing about my ex-bestie. They did put my gender journey back by about 5 fucking years. Because they decided that because I was IDing as a lesbian at the time, I could not be non-binary. And I was like, I guess you're the expert. You're non-binary. You can be a lesbian and non-binary. There was no reason I couldn't have been those things. There was no reason I couldn't have had that overlap. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lesbian now because I am much more on the masculine side of trans masc. And I do not feel any resonance with being a lesbian. So this drawing is much better than the last drawing I was doing. I'm glad I restarted. Especially if I'm going to keep using this drawing for stuff. Okay. Now we'll do the final. Now we'll get into inks. Inks. Body. So we're going to do the arm on a different layer underneath. Forefront. Right arm. Because it's going to be different depending on which picture we're using. Right arm up. So we're just going to focus on the forefront for right now. Yeah, I think this is definitely much more strong. It's definitely much more engaging. Is there a particular reason you spell prince like that? Yes, it's gender reasons. Well, prince is like a real phrase in like the non-binary community. You can't get a movie out about it. It is like a real like concept in the non-binary community. It is non-binary royalty. It gets to be spelled. You can use prince, which is PRINXE. There's really no like gender neutral royalty. Or it can be a princess, which is PRINXESS, obviously. So these two are like real phrases. Like other people also use the phrase prince. That is not unique to me. I identify very strongly with the concept of royalty. I don't need this. That was just a doodle. I don't really need this for reference, so go away. So yeah, I've always identified very strongly with the concept of. Oh, what's the difference in the ink lines? Oh, they're just darker. Is really what it boils down to. I also use a different brush. So let me just show you real quick. The sketch brush I use for this one is called Block and Beckett, which is really for coloring. But you can tap it very lightly and it'll be very like see-through, or you can do very, very dark and it'll be very black. But it's really great for building up sketches. But the ink brush is this, so it's a little scritchy, a little pencily. It's got kind of a texture to it. You can kind of see like right here, there's a texture to it. I just like the way it feels. That's really all it boils down to. Everybody's like brush settings is 100% just what they like. There's no like best inking brush, best sketching brush. Whatever works for you and feels the most natural, that's the best brush. That's the best brush there could possibly be. That is just how it works. And I usually like my liner a little bit chunky, but I draw chunky, so it works out. Yeah, like everybody's process is different. This is just mine. I always use a solid pen so my sketches get very messy very fast. Yeah. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I go through like modes where that's what I want to use. I have a bunch of different sketch brushes. It's hard to see. This is my subtools. Let me see if I can make them bigger. So I have one for just sketching. So this is all the sketch brushes. Like this one I really like. Let me put it back real quick. This one I really like. It's a pixel brush, but it has like a really nice like sharp texture to it. I don't remember the name of it. It's in Japanese. But when it's really small, it has like a very nice shapely vibe to it. And it definitely has like a shape to it, like a that's the shape, I guess. And so a jitter. So it has a very nice feel to it. It reminds me of sketching in Storyboard Pro. Like that's kind of the vibe this brush has. Which is kind of why I like it. It's very good for just getting out like expressions, which I need the face to be a little bit clearer on. So like if I just want to do an expression. It became an omen. It kind of became an omen. I need to give him his eyebrows back. Omen has a lot of eyebrow, in my humble opinion. In part because he's like the only Acquisitions Incorporated character whose sprite has eyebrows. Yeah, it's got a nice sharp motion to it, which I like. Listen, I love drawing Omen. I designed a very hot man, and I want to draw him a lot. There we go. There we go. There's an Omen. An Omen for you. Now he's going to go away forever. Goodbye. He died now. So that's a brush I've been leaning on very hard recently. Simply Omen. So that's a brush I've been using a lot lately. Let me see if I can copy and paste the name. See if someone can find it. Modify key settings. Can I? No, I guess I can't change the name. Do you know this thing about Omen is just to be assumed reality? Yeah, I love him. I love Omen. He's my favorite character. I know everyone thinks Jim is my favorite character. It's Omen, besties. It's always been Omen. Not always, but Omen is just very cool. I like him a lot. He sucks. He's the worst character in the entire world. That is not... Oh, it's undoubtedly... Yeah. Like, I am Jim. Omen is my favorite, but I am Jim. I am a ridiculous performer. With an ego and a lot of insecurity issues. That I hide by having an ego. Like that's me. That's just me, besties. I should sue Mike Krahulik. Can you draw the final panel as a pony, please? I can't. Thank you for asking. Cannot do that. Not won't. Can't, physically. I think the earrings are a little bit big, but the drawing's always going to be a little small, so I think that works okay. I want them to be clearly there. I also like triangles. It's just a shape I like. Not really a reason for it. I just like them. I just love a good shape. Literally unable to. It's too powerful. She's too strong. She cannot be let into Equestria. She'd be too powerful. I love that the pony world is called Equestria. It's my favorite thing about My Little Pony. Yeah, almost every Yak Ink. Not every Yak Ink. Sometimes he doesn't show up. I miss Jim Dark Magic so bad. I've never drawn a Certainty Pony. I should draw a Certainty Pony. Not right now. But I have drawn... I don't think anyone should be surprised by this. I have a lot of Acquisitions Incorporated horses that I've drawn over the years. I like horses, besties. So I've never followed this up. How did the ponies end up in high school? A magic mirror. And it's only... Okay, so it's actually only one pony. So, here's some Equestria Girls lore. There was a magic mirror that Princess Celestia had that sent them to another world that she's never used, so she has no idea what that other world looks like. The other world is the human world, for context. Obviously. So, they had to go through because Sunset Simmer stole Twilight's crown, which is not just like a crown, it's like magic. It's like the elements of harmony. It's inherently a magical item. So it's like we don't... she had to go back and find it. And it was like a stealth mission. Like you have to go through this magic portal and find it. And then Twilight went through and she became a person. She had to learn how to do human things. And she met human versions of her best friends. And Like but they aren't the same people. They're like it's just a mirror universe where like instead of being horses, they are people. And if you're wondering, hey, if she is from the pony world and everyone in the pony world has a version of himself that's a human, shouldn't she have met herself? She does eventually. There is a version of human Twilight who is from the real human world, but she goes to a different school because she's a nerd, which makes sense canonically because she is from Canterlot and the other ponies are from Ponyville. Listen, I love Equestria Girls. It's the stupidest shit in the world. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But also, Sunset Shimmer is the character ever. She is the BPD horse. And also, the songs fucking slap in Equestria Girls. The songs go so goddamn hard. If I wasn't gonna get DMCA'd, I would play you one. Could I play some of it? Maybe Daddy YouTube. I mean, it's not like I'm monetizing my videos. Maybe I could do it. You know what? I'm not monetizing my videos. Maybe I'll just play you one of the songs. Shush. Daddy YouTube, don't at me. It's a good song is the thing. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember what it's fucking called. I can't remember what it's called. Oh. Listen, the song slaps.
Seem as different as the night is from day, but you look a little deeper, and you will see that I'm just like you, and you're just like me, yeah. Hey, everybody.
Song is a bop. I don't know what to fucking tell you. We're gonna stop listening to it though, because I do think I will get DMCA'd super hard, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna go back to what I was doing, which is Stardew Valley. Let me find it real quick. Okay, I'm fixing it slowly off screen. Anyway, Spike is a dog. They don't really explain why. They never actually explain why. He's a sentient creature. I don't know why he's a dog. Listen, that's like the one thing about that that doesn't make any sense to me. Spike being a dog, don't like that. He is sentient. There's no dragons are not creatures. They are sentient beings in Equestria. There's no reason for them to be dogs. But I guess it was easier. I don't know. They never see another dragon in the human world, so he just has to be a dog. But also, there is a dog equivalent. Like, there is a real word Spike that is also just a dog that they make talk eventually, but he's never been a dragon. He's a dog. He's not even a cute dog. You are correct. He's not. It makes me upset that they made Spike a dog, but also I do understand it, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. Did I turn the music back on? Yeah, I did. So yeah, Equestria Girls is a stupid movie. It's a stupid series of movies with its own like distinct pony lore. Where Spike is a dog. But also it has Sunset Shimmer, who is the best character. Basically in the pony series, she's the best horse. Like when people are like, "Oh, who's the best horse?" It's Sunset Shimmer. She's the best horse. She is the apex of horses. There's one good horse, and it's her. They're all good horses, but she's the best. She's the best redeemed villain in the series, in my humble opinion. Starlight's pretty good too. She's just cool. So Sunset Shimmer's a bad guy. I forgot to mention that. But she becomes not a bad guy eventually. She learns about the power of friendship. So it's okay. Listen, I love Equestria Girls. It's stupid. I haven't even watched all of it. There's a couple I've skipped because I don't know when they come out. I think a lot of them are just like YouTube things. They had like a series once. It was not a lot of episodes though. It was like 8 episodes. I don't think kids liked it as much. I think just people who worked on it liked it. Um, Mostly what Equestria Girls is. Sorry, my music's really loud. Now you turn it down. Mostly what Equestria Girls is. It was Hasbro trying to make money off the Monster High franchise. By giving their own like version of Monster High, but it's Horse High basically. It's Horse High. So it was very magical and very like I get what they were doing, and like in theory, I think could have been very very cool. I think in theory it could have been really cool, especially the doll line. The dolls were really shitty. They were really boring. I'm gonna look up a photo real quick. Because the dolls were bad. They're just bad. They look ugly. They look like shit. They're not articulated. No, I don't want shopping. I want images. So you have to take in consideration. This is the doll that Equestria Girls had. They had a bunch of them, but this is one of them. But I'm also going to show you a Monster High doll from that era. Monster High. From this, literally like on the shelf at the same time. Maybe not this specific doll that I'm showing you, but like this genre of doll. What's cooler? Definitely the fucking vampire. And the really big difference, and I'm going to show you real quick. I'm so sorry. I have to talk about this. Monster High dolls have articulated elbows and wrists and knees. Their hips also like move like really really well. And their heads are obviously articulated. These guys don't have articulated wrists or elbows. They have knees because like all Barbie dolls have knees and stuff like that. But they don't move. And their eyes are very boring. Their face molds just aren't that interesting. Like the nose is basically non-existent. Not that Monster High had terribly interesting face molds. For the record, they didn't. They had very, very boring face molds. The new ones are way better. I like the new Monster High dolls so, so much. I wish the outfits were better. The outfits are worse. They're definitely more Barbie than they are like the really like high fashion, like alt fashion. Like Monster High was very alt fashion, which is why people liked it. And they keep pulling that away, and that sucks. They can also see like this is very cheap fabric. This is a really good fabric. This is more than one piece of clothing. This is like a separate piece from this piece. And these are a separate piece from the skirt. Like, Monster High had layered clothing. It had very, really detailed accessories. Like, Monster High ruled. I have almost every one of the original Monster High dolls. The only one I'm missing is the original Cleo. They don't fit. For the record, Monster High dolls and Equestria Girl dolls don't quite fit. Monster High is a very, very narrow waist compared to other toy dolls. Like you can, I will use a different color so it's much more obvious. That is like the waistline for a Monster High doll. And this is the waistline for Equestria Girls. And they're roughly the same height. Like the Monster High doll might be an inch or two taller just because they have a lot more leg. That's like the big problem with Monster High dolls. Nothing fucking fits them. Like you can kind of put them in Barbie clothes if you like narrow it down and edit it, but like a lot of like doll clothes just don't fit them. So it's really hard to redress a Monster High doll because they don't have a lot of fashion packs. I guess they weren't selling a lot of them. Also, hello, Will Mosey. It told me you're a first-time chatter. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, the Equestria Girls dolls were a huge disappointment, especially since, let me show you real quick. Sorry. The art on the boxes is so fucking pretty. That's what really bothers me. Let me see if I can get a box. Nope. Yeah. I'll do Pinkie Pie because we just saw Pinkie Pie. The art is really lively and fun and cute. Like if this had been like what the dolls actually looked like with articulation and stuff, they would have been great. They would have been chef's kiss, but they weren't. They were just really cheap. They looked cheap and they were still at the same price point as Monster High was, despite having like no articulation and no like extra outfits. Yeah, the doll looks nothing fucking like that. They all suck, which is really disappointing because I was really excited about Equestria Girls. I was like amped up for it when we saw like the previews and like the concept sketches. I was really into doll collecting at the time when they came out. I'm not as into it now just because I have no money, and also because Monster High got way cheaper, way quick. Not cheaper as in like more affordable, cheaper as in like shitty. Like they looked worse. Yeah, I was the target in that audience, and I was not into it. Um, they made like little ones that were like made of vinyl that were like chibi versions. I really did like those. Those were actually really cute. They came with like the Polly Pocket kind of plastic clothes that you could like swap. I have one of those. I have an Applejack of those. Um, they smell a little weird, but that's because sometimes things that are plastic smell weird. Um, so that's not really their fault. It's just it is what it is, you know. But yeah, no, I was the target audience for that fucking doll line, and I mean, I wasn't. It's children, but still, they were not trying to get the adult, like collector audience at all. Whereas Monster High, like really, sorry, I'm gonna show you one more time, what Monster High does. That's really cool. Uh, Monster High does lean into the adult collectors. Monster High, um, they do lean into the adult collector stuff to the point where they have like exclusive dolls from like San Diego Comic Con that are really pretty. I was tempted to buy this, even though I'm well out of the Monster High collecting biz. They made a bunch of like horror movie dolls, and this is like the one they made for the Gremlins, which obviously is like a children's horror movie, but still. Um, but it's she's so cute. She's so fun, and you can see like the real plastic like pleather on her jacket, and she's got layers to the skirt. There's an extra layer of like a texture over the skirt and the fur on the lining. She's so adorable. They did Beetlejuice ones too that I don't like quite as much, but also pretty cute. It was a 2-pack, so it was Beetlejuice and Lydia, and they're cool, but I don't like them quite as much. Like, yeah, they're fine. I just know her hair is so gluey. I do like everything about the Beetlejuice doll. I just don't like how cheap the fabric looks. Like, I feel like that's just the wrong kind of fabric to go for that doll. But it's hard to use like big fabrics, like fabrics that would look fine on a grown up, or like a real person on a doll. You have to use much thinner fabric so it lays better. Like, you can't really put denim on dolls. It just doesn't work. But I do like her hat. That's plastic, and it still looks very cool. But yeah, no, the Lydia was pretty cute. The Beetlejuice is pretty cute. They did another one. I think they did Chucky as the third. I think it was Chucky. I could be wrong. Nah, no, it doesn't look like they did. I'm only seeing fan art. Hard. I know they did one more, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. They did 2 more. Ha ha ha! They did 2 more, and it was It, which is incredible. I think that was the first one they did. This doll slaps. Everything about this doll, yeah, everything about Pennywise doll, very cool. Cool as hell, and they did the twins from The Shining, which I don't, those are stupid. I don't care about those. This guy, this one slaps. This doll is so good, so fun. I love the texture on the hair. I love the tulle on the skirt. I love everything about it. It's so stupid and fun. So good. Obviously, I didn't buy any of those because I'm not really a horror fan. I'm more of a... I like the monster elements, but not because I like horror. I just think they're cute. But yeah, that was a thing. Let me just do something real quick. There we go. It's a much better shape. Anyway. Anyway. Sorry about talking about Monster High for like 20 minutes. Doesn't matter, I guess. The whole point of the streams is that I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. Sometimes I want to talk about dolls. But yeah, I have a lot of Monster High dolls. I have about probably like 70 left. I would have to count. I sold off a bunch when I was moving from... Well, I was moving to Seattle. So I sold a bunch so that I wouldn't have to bring them with me. So I sold Operetta. I sold my Cupid. I regret selling my Cupid. I do wish I had my Cupid still. Because those are very expensive. And all the ones on eBay are like definitely played with. So the hair is really bad. So let me show you Cupid real quick. Sorry. One more. Monster High decided to have like a crossover with Ever After High by creating this character for Monster High and then eventually putting her in Ever After High as like a transfer student, and they never really explained it, like how it worked. Doesn't fucking matter. I had this doll. She was like the first like limited edition collector's doll, and I'm putting limited edition in air quotes. She came in a box all by herself, so the case was just 6 of these, but she was a Walmart exclusive. But she had like a very intricate, you can see right here, this one's not a good shape on it. She had a very intricate like braid at top that's in a heart shape, and she had wings that were detachable that were made of bone. Nobody could fucking figure out what this girl was, what kind of monster she was. She was just weird and cute. Yeah, she's $127. Yep, that makes sense. I sold her for about 70, I think. Because mine was in really good quality. It came with everything that came with. I still had the box for her. So I sold her for about $70. The most expensive doll that I have is one more. I swear after this I'll be done. I have the first I have the first Ever After High doll that they released at San Diego Comic-Con. And I love her, and I would never sell her unless I can get a really good price on it. This is the Ever After High Cerise Hood doll. Her gimmick is that so Ever After High is like they're the daughters of fairy tale creatures, but they're also like going to have the story again. Like they have to redo the story so that humans could have the story. It's stupid. Don't worry about that. The lore about the Ever After High is dumb, but gay, but dumb. But she is the daughter of Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf, so she's both. But this was the doll that like revealed that she was definitely the daughter of the Big Bad Wolf. Her regular doll, she has like her hood up, and her pointed ears are hidden, and she's more like leaning into the Red Riding Hood aspect. But this was like the first one that really like eased into the Big Bad Wolf element, which is an interesting idea for a doll, but also does mean that child fucked that wolf. So don't want to think about that too hard. Don't think about it too hard. But I like werewolves, so I was like, fuck yeah, werewolves. I collected only the werewolves at that time. I had to cut back. Yeah, it basically is a tween version of Fables. It is a tween version of Fables. Ever After High was really fun. I didn't like the cartoons as much. But the dolls were very pretty. They were definitely softer than Monster High, but they had like very similar like elements and like designs. So you had like the daughter of the Mad Hatter, and you had like the daughter of the Pied Piper, who I do have. That's one of the only ones I have. I have the Mad Hatter girl, and I have the Pied Piper girl. The Mad Hatter's name is Maddie, I think, which on the nose, sure. I can't remember what the Pied Piper girl's name is, but she looks dope as shit. That's the only reason why I bought her. I didn't collect Ever After High. I only bought the 2 dolls, I think. I might have bought a third. Oh, no, I bought Cerise Hood as well. I'm sorry. I have 2 Cerise Hoods because I have her base and her limited edition. So I have 4 Ever After High dolls. And I have no idea if they're worth anything. I know Cerise Hood is because she was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. So I know she's worth something. I think she's worth like $300. And now you collect cats. Technically speaking, I only have 2 cats. My mom has a 3rd cat. I don't collect cats. Cats just kind of are given to me. I bought one on purpose, and then I got another one on accident. And now my mom was like, me too. And I was like, bitch, you're ripping me off. Yeah, this drawing's way better. This drawing is way better. But yeah, I don't collect anything anymore because collecting things is expensive. It's expensive, besties. But I do have all my Monster High dolls. I still like them. And I'm thinking about buying at least a couple of the new generation because they look really good. The quality is back to where I liked it. So they have like very interesting face molds and they have very interesting, like the clothes are layered again. I don't like the style that they're dressed as. Like they don't have like distinct styles anymore, you know? How's Meowth doing? He's good. He's hanging out. He's vibing. He's hanging out next to the chibi Meowth that I got. He's not dusty. I don't think so. I picked him up just now. No, he's fine. He hasn't been there long enough to be dusty yet. Yeah, he hasn't been here long enough to grow any dust, I don't think. He's cute. He's good. He's just vibing. He's next to... I have a set of really rare Team Rocket toys that were from like a set in Japan that you would like put them down on, and like in certain areas there would be like a magnet or like a piece of metal that would like activate a voice line. I don't have that part. I only have the toy parts, the rocket ones. But they're expensive. They don't make them anymore. They haven't made them in like 20 years. They're a little bit faded, but mine are in pretty good condition. And then I have the ones that they did. It was like a Team Rocket takeover kind of thing when they started their radio show. Team Rocket had like a real radio show you could listen to on the radio in Japan, like actually like in character radio show, because they didn't like how they were being treated on the cartoon at that time, and that was like the compromise. It was a black and white era, if you're curious, which is when they were like really serious and evil and weren't like jokey joke. They did not like that, the actors, so they were like, can we do this instead? They were like very vocal about it too. They're like, we fucking hate this. This sucks. This is not what we signed up for. Blah blah blah. But they like compromised and made like a really goofy radio show where they were like more in character with like how they used to be. And they made like a really, really nice toy line based off of it to like go with it for like a takeover event where they went to different Pokemon centers in Japan and like did the event live. But they put like really I'm gonna take a picture of them real quick and see if I can put them on the stream. I probably have a photo of them. I'll just Google it. Team Rocket Japanese figures, maybe? Might get me. It might get me there. They ha 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 ha! I found them. These guys. They're not posable. They are stuck in the poses that they're in. I have Kojiro and Musashi. I never bought the Meowth because he was expensive on his own. I got these two from like a collector who was like done collecting them, so I got them relatively cheap. Not like cheap, just like it is what it was. It was like $90, but like I got both of them for $90. And usually they're about like $80 a pop, or they were at the time. They're not quite worth that much anymore. I think someone found like a bunch of them that never got sold. So now you can buy them like in box. They might be like $80, but like out of box they'd be a lot cheaper. I don't regret it, so I don't really care. I don't like the way this is looking. Just the crown, not everything else. But they're really cute. They're really well made. They are very, very adorable. And that's the Meowth that Onyx Oblivion got me hangs out with them because I don't have the actual Meowth, which I like a lot better because he's like proportionate basically. The Meowth in the other one is too big. They are cute. They're very cute. They're my favorite characters. They are very important to me. They're very important to a lot of people, not just me, but also like I am Mu because of Team Rocket. Like I stole that from Jessie. Jessie's Japanese name is Masashi, which is a boy's name. But I didn't know that when I stole it. It was just a thing. Musashi is a boy's name traditionally. It is not a girl's name. I don't know if I have a character like that. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have... I have borderline personality disorder, so I steal my personality from characters. If I don't see myself in a character, I don't have a personality. I've gotten a little bit better at it. But that is so much of why I like the things I like as much as I do. Alright, let's do... There we go. I want it to be a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, I think that's better. My profile is Lulu and I bought 2 Lulu figures, but I don't play her in game anymore, I think. Yeah, like she has no like character. Like my favorite League of Legends character is Jinx because she has a TV show dedicated to her mental illness. Like that's why I like that bitch. She is the best one. She has the same mental illness I have, but worse. Obviously, I don't think they're ever going to say that she has borderline personality disorder, but that bitch has borderline personality disorder. Like, that's just what that is, besties. That's what that looks like. Being paranoid, everyone hates you. Yeah. Lashing out because you don't know how to be a person. Yep. I don't like that. She is the most BPD ever. That's a mood. That is a mood. MU apostrophe D. That is the joke. But I got help, so I'm not quite as bad anymore. In terms of that. I used to be very bad, and when I didn't know that's what I had, then I found out what's had. I don't like that either. Maybe I'll just do the crown as a color. Like, maybe I won't ink it. I think that might be what's going to happen. I think inking it makes it look too dark. Give me 1 second. Hell yeah. My mom brought me pretzels. Also, hello. I know it's a crown, but it's also kind of kitty ears. It is a crown slash flower. It's actually a flower that looks like a crown. My character is loosely based on cactia as a concept. Who has... I'm sorry, I'm eating a pretzel real quick. A soft pretzel, so it's not going to be crunchy. I'm really hungry. This is great. Woohoo! Also, hello. Hello. I haven't said it in a hot minute. We are working on PNG Tuber version 2.0. And I have lost my pen. Oh, I've lost my pen. I put it down and now it's gone forever. There it is. I found it. I found it. We're all good. So yeah, I think the crown is just going to be a color. I think that's going to make it look the best. And I'll do that later. Not gonna lie, because of the stream, I thought tonight was being drawn with a mouse. Yeah, I could see that. No, I am using my tablet pen. I do not draw with a mouse. I have not drawn with a mouse in roughly 30 years, maybe 20 years. Probably 20 years. When I first started digitally drawing, I drew with a mouse because I didn't have a tablet. Yeah, I think 20 years sounds about right. Because I think my first paycheck that I made at my very first job, which was working at Bennigan's with my sisters, when I was still a host, I spent it on a Wacom tablet. I spent it on a Wacom Grayfire. Grayfire? I don't know how it's pronounced. It was like $200. I had to go to Staples, I think, to get it. Staples, I think. Staples or Office Max, one or the other. We had to call them to find out if they had it, and they did, so I was able to swing by and grab one. I'm so excited about the soft pretzel. And it continued to work forever. It probably still works. I only upgraded, sorry, I'm chewing. I only upgraded because I wanted a bigger surface to draw on. It continued to work, it did not break. I upgraded to a bamboo when those came out because they were really cheap. And they're about the quality of the Grayfire. I think it was basically just the Grayfire reskin. It was blue, which I liked. And then I gave that to my girlfriend at the time when I upgraded to... No, the ex-best friend who we mentioned earlier that sucks. The only nice thing they ever did for me was give me their old Intuos 3. And that's what I use now. Still using it. It's been about 10 years. Haven't seen a reason to upgrade. It has not had any functionality issues the entire time I've had it. So why would I change that? I don't work on a screen so big that I need it to be like high def. Like I just don't need it to be HK. Tablets can have like resolutions, for the record, in case you're curious why I'm talking about that. 4HK or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't work that large, and I don't need it to be that that sensitive. So I don't have it. I don't care. And that's like the one good thing they ever gave me. And then I gave the bamboo after I switched a couple years later to my ex-girlfriend, who's still my friend. We haven't talked like a lot recently, but we're still like mutuals and shit like that. We're still like friendly. As far as I know, she still uses it. I don't think she's upgraded from the bamboo that I gave her. Them. I think they use them now. Them. I think it is them. Yeah, that seems right. Sorry for accidentally misgendering you, ex-partner that I had from 7 years ago. It'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes if you don't think about it for a while. Bum, bum, bum. Sometimes it be like that. But anyway, as far as I know, they're still using it. But mostly they do like watercolor in real life anyway, so I guess it doesn't fucking matter. And we're not doing this arm. We're not doing this arm over here. That's gonna be on a different layer. So we'll do that later. Probably in a couple minutes. We want to finish this. Sorry. I'm really into this pretzel. But yeah. I use a 10-year-old tablet because it still works. And I'm cheap and lazy. I actually have like one of the fancy ones you could draw on in my closet that I've never used. So I have no idea if it works. It cost me like $400, and then it was too big for my desk, and I was like, eventually I'm going to move and I'll get a bigger desk, and then I didn't move. So I don't have a bigger desk. I have the shitty tiny little desk that I have. So I have no idea if it works. It might suck. Maybe I don't like drawing on a tablet screen. I guess I'll never know, or I'll know eventually. It's probably been in my closet for like 3 years. Just vibing. Just hanging out. It's a Huon something GT191. I don't know. Again, I have no idea if it's any good. I cannot recommend it or unrecommend it. It's Schrodinger's tablet. It is just hanging out in my closet. Alright, let's go over with the G pen real quick just so that we can make this outline a little bit less cluttered. I think that's just what we gotta do. So it'll be nice and thick on the edge, which I kind of want the vibe of anyway. Mostly it'll be sharp. That's the dream. That's what I want. But I also still want the textured line art on the inside, so. And in places we'll just like make it like shorter. I think this is going to be my solution. I don't know if this is going to work. I just don't want that halo that the current PNG tuber has. I just don't want that. And this will get rid of that if I do it right. I might not do it right. I might do it shitty. Who knows? Haha! Sometimes that's what art is, babies. Haha! Hello, vid. Hello. We're working on PNG Tuber version 2.0. So I like the drawing that I have now. He's fine, but I want him to have a little bit more character, and he's going to have a little bit more to do. Let's make this much smaller on the inside. I want him to have a little bit more personality. That's Jones. Always keep him guessing. Oh, it is water time. It should be water time. Sip, sip. Sip, sip. My posture's good. Everyone else's posture might suck. My posture's great. I just fixed it like a minute ago because I got up to get pretzels. Not to get pretzels. I was offered pretzels. Choo choo choo. Yeah, it's got a little bit more movement. It's got a little bit more character. That's all I want. That's all I want. I'm thirsty and my posture is rubbish. Same, usually. But I do have my water on me at all times now. And since I started streaming, I will say this. I'm a lot better hydrated than I used to be. I don't usually drink this much water, and now I drink so much water all the time. Now I'm crazy well hydrated. We haven't inked the face yet because there's going to be more than, I think there's going to be 4 expressions because there has to be eyes closed, eyes open, mouth closed, mouth open, and they have to be, I have to have 2 of each. So that the guy will blink. He blinks on the screen there. So that's what I have to do for that. I want him to blink. What do you mean I don't say water the Philly way? I say water. I don't say water. Water's stupid. Oh, you don't say it. I'm so sorry. I can't read. Yeah, you say water, and it's weird. Listen, some people are dyslexic and they can't fucking read. It's me. I blame Pokemon. Yeah, I could see that. My niece and nephew grew up saying like rubbish and stuff like that instead of trash can because they grew up watching Peppa Pig. So a flashlight is a torch. Apparently that's like a really big problem in England that so many kids watch American cartoons that they like don't grow up having like British accents, and they actually dub a lot of American cartoons with British actors. Like there's a British dub of the new DuckTales show, which is especially funny because they redubbed Scrooge McDuck. He has a Scottish accent from a real Scottish man. But yeah, that's like a real problem. Your family is becoming British. Nah, just the little ones. And they're kind of growing out of it now, especially the niece. She's a little bit older. She's like in school now, so she doesn't do that as much. But my nephew still does that stuff. He's still little. He's still a baby. Well, he's not a baby. He's 5. But she's in school now, so she's 9, almost 10. British kids running around saying fanny when they mean bum. Very cultural. Yeah. I have to assume they like dub over like fanny packs and stuff like that. Like I can't imagine they let kids say that in Europe. For context, if anyone doesn't know, fanny in England and like the UK and stuff like that is a slang term for vagina. It is not a slang term for butt. It means vagina. That is vagina. Which, oops. Oopsies. I want this to be thinner, I think. Yeah, that's better. We need to stop children learning about the British. Dude. We need more children learn about the British. They call fanbags bum bag? Do they? Oh, that's so funny. That's so much funnier. Oh my god, I'm so excited about these fucking pretzels. I was just thinking I need a snack. I bought some peanuts the other day. Which has been very nice because I need a lot more protein in my diet. I don't eat a lot of meat, so it's not that I don't eat a lot of meat, it's that I don't like a lot of meat. Red meat hurts my stomach, so I can't eat it that much. Not that that stops me, to be clear. It doesn't stop me. It should stop me. It doesn't. I want that to still have the texture. Just don't want the texture on the outside. For the record, if anyone's curious of what I'm doing, I'm going over the outside with a much sharper brush so that I don't have the halo that I have around the current PNG tuber. I think this is just the way to do it. There's probably a more practical way. I just didn't want to ink with this brush because I didn't like the way it felt. But we're just making the lines sharper on the inside. You can kind of see they're not that sharp on the inside, but they're very sharp on the outside now, and that's what we're looking for. Just munch, munch, munch. I think I want that. Yeah, I do want that, I think. Maybe. I think I want it that way, I think. There we go. Maybe I don't want it at all. Yeah, I don't think I want it. Okay. Sorry. Making a lot of executive decisions here. Making a lot of choices. And you guys are here with me so that I will do it instead of fucking around and playing Cult of the Lamb all night. I've been playing it off stream. Yeah, royal decisions. I've been playing Cult of the Lamb off stream. One, because I already talked about this a little earlier, but we'll talk about it again. One, because I felt I wasn't very entertaining on my last stream that I played it at because I was learning so much about the game, and I couldn't pay attention to chat at the same time. And two, I don't know if it's a stream game for me. I do want to try it at least once more, just to see if it is a stream game for me. Especially now that I know more about the gameplay loop and more about how things work. I can be more engaged with the chat while I play it. Um, but yeah, I don't think that was a very good stream on my part, which is it is what it is. I ended up having to sacrifice that guy. I have since sacrificed lots of guys. I don't remember if I sacrificed that specific guy. Um, I have a second file that I'm playing off stream that I'm kind of fucking around and like figuring things out and uh, enjoying a lot. And I'm making different choices in that file. So I like took different things. It's fun. I'm having a really good time with the game. I don't think that was the way to figure it out. It's definitely a challenge. Find the balance of gameplay and attention. Yeah. And I was not looking at chat basically that entire stream, and I felt really bad about it. Chat wasn't terribly active, so it didn't super matter. But like, chat might not have been active because I wasn't talking to them. Do you think that love can bloom even on the battlefield? Not according to Twitter. Twitter polls say no. Twitter polls said no. Like, I get why like certain things didn't win. It's insane to me that they didn't just let Spurk win, which is Kirk and Spock, for the record. They are the OG. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This kind of content exists because that kind of content existed. Like, I don't... Listen, they're in love. They are the OG. The original gangsta. I also... Listen. Onyx Oblivion. Same. That is a better ship, in my humble opinion. In my humble onion. Spock and Bones is a better ship. But you do have to acknowledge that, like... In terms of, like, the original Slash ships, it's Spurk, baby. That's the OG. It did. Well, I don't know if it... No. So, yes, but no. I think the term Slash specifically was invented for... I might be remembering this wrong. Why was the term... I feel like it was X-Files. But I could be wrong. No, X-Files invented the word shipping. Yeah, you're right. It was Kirk and Spock. You are correct. The Slash predates the use of the word shipping by about 20 years. It was originally coined a term to describe a pair of Kirk and Spock from Star Trek. Kirk/Spock. Sometimes spoken... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you are right. It was Kirk and Spock. Shipping, though, the word shipping came specifically from X-Files fandom. That is where that came from. And was also popularized by Pokemon fandom. Because Pokemon got really into it, like, at the same time. Like rocket shipping, poke shipping, etc., etc. So if you know any fandom that uses, like, ship names where it's, like, something ship, that's all Pokemon fandom, baby. But it's also originally X-Files fandom. Sorry, my mic got stuff on it. So sorry about that. Ship Slash. But yeah, Slash is from Kirk and Spock. Alright, we're going to just do a base real quick. So let me just hide the right arm. Let's hide the sketch. Colors. Base. So that's the base. Let's go with a much lighter color there because that sucks. I think I want this ink to be darker. I want it to be a little bit thicker at the top. That's a little thin for me. It's a little thin for me. Love me some wordplay. Yeah, I'm a proponent of like ship names where it's like two words pushed together. Like Spurk is a stupid one. But like Dran Magic, baby. I like Dran Magic. It's perfect. Uh, One time, to embarrass me, one of my friends, L, brought up shipping Jim and Omen in front of Jerry. This is way well before like I had ever done it. And I had to be like, it has a name. It's Dran Magic. Um, because it has a name and it is Dran Magic. Like I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, cock is just much funnier. I guess it. Yeah, that's just it's so much funnier. But obviously that's not what they can go with for reasons. Yeah, sometimes the portmanteau is unfortunate. Sometimes the portmanteau is unfortunate. It'd be like that sometimes. But sometimes the unfortunate one's much funnier. Like Snoticon? What is... No, you can't call it that. You can't call it that, but they do call it that. That's a Snake and Oticon from uh, uh, Metal Gear Solid. It's Snoticon, baby. And that's the worst ship name in the entire world. And I think it's the funniest thing in the entire world. That's what they went with. Like, it's so terrible. It's so unappealing. I have no idea. I guess snail? Yeah, I guess otake. That's probably what they call it in Japanese. Um, well, usually when it's a ship name like that, it's whoever's on top is the first one. That used to be like how it worked, for the record. I don't think it's how it's like always works. Sorry, this is bothering me. I have to fix something real quick. What I'm doing here is staring at my line art to see if I like it. Slash eating pretzels. Slash eating pretzels. I want that to be a little bit more out. And I want it to be a little bit thinner on the inside. Yeah, it's better. Anyway, is that his name, Hal? Hal? That's stupid. This is a weird strategy where there's been no farming. Yeah. Stardew is nice because I can use the music as much as I want. With absolutely no credit. So that's why we always end up listening to Stardew Valley music. Eventually, I will figure out... I will go through all the suggestions that people gave me for crediting people who make good music. Not that Stardew music is bad. Hello, beloved stringer, please. AKA Laura from work. Does someone else have the Laura from work handle? Can you not get it? Not that I think you would change it, but it's just... That would be much funnier. Laura from work. We are working on 2.0 of my PNG tuber. No, the Stardew Valley music's good. I've stolen it and I have held on to it. It's not really stealing. It's yours rightfully. Somebody else has just Prince without like the moo part, and I'm super mad about it. I follow the guy on Twitter who just has like just Prince. I keep hoping he'll be deleted at some point. He hasn't tweeted in like, I don't know, 12 years. Maybe almost 13 at this point. And I'm just like, come on, besties, get rid of him, purge him. So if I ever see my follow count go down by just one, that's the first thing I check. And usually it's just my friend deciding that she doesn't want to be on Twitter for a hot minute, which mood. But still, one day it's going to be that guy. One day it's going to be that guy from Taiwan. You can, and I have done it, but that particular one hasn't been deleted yet. But I have put in that thing. So I would like to be just Prince. Not that I mind the moo part. The moo part's perfectly acceptable, obviously. That is my name. But it would be nice if I could just be Prince. It is a hassle to try to get people who don't know me well enough to not call me Moo. Which, listen, it doesn't super bother me. I do just prefer when people I don't know that well call me Jones instead. That's all. And I don't know why. I don't make the rules. I just do what my brain tells me. My brain decided one day, it's like, hey, you don't like when strangers call you by your first name. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I guess I don't like that anymore. Even though I paid money to change it to this name. But it is what it is, I guess. You kind of get used to it. I really like my surname. I do not care about my first name. Yeah, that also was the exact same scenario I was in when I was changing my name. I kept my last name. I changed everything else. But I do like my first name. To be clear, I love my first name. My first name rules. I paid money to be this. I would not change a thing. Except maybe I would make Jones my first name. And just make Moo like my middle name. But I'm not going to do it again. It's expensive. I'm not going to change my name again. It's too much hassle. Too much hassle. Yeah, all strangers are relegated to PE status. Exactly. Plus, I like being called Jones. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I do not love my first name at all. But also, I have not been enamored by alternatives enough to change it. Yeah. For me, it was... I thought a lot about, like, what I should change my first name to. Like, I had, like, a list of, like, options before I was like, what do I call myself in my head? I call myself Moo in my head. So it's gonna be Moo. That's just what it's gonna be. Like, that's who I was at that point. There was no other options, like, you know? I did have as my backup, in case they wouldn't let me change it to just Moo, because it's such a short name. I was like, maybe that's not enough letters. Maybe they're gonna be mad at me. It needs to be longer than that. My backup was James. Which, yep, that's exactly why. The exact reason. Yep. Nail on the head. Podcast wizard. Yeah, no, it was almost James Prince Jones. Well, it was actually going to be, this is even worse. It was going to be James Erasmus Jones. Named after... You work there, but that doesn't mean you played it. On the Precipice of Darkness, Tycho's middle name is Erasmus. And I really liked those games. So that was almost my middle name. I eventually went with Xavier, though. Is Jim short for something? Jimmy. God. My KBs are real low, and I don't know why. I did not know I played some of Precipice 3. Yeah, I liked the first two a lot. I didn't like the next two quite as much. Just gameplay-wise. Which is fine. They're not, listen, there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly acceptable games. I just didn't like the gameplay loop quite as much as the original ones. But I really liked those games. I liked that a lot. I wish those were just a book I could read. That would be my fantasy. So if Jerry ever wants to just turn them into a book, at least I would purchase them. At least I would. I don't think they make just merchandise for me, though. They have to think about other people, probably. Maybe sometimes. Yeah, a multi-name existence feels like a very jellicle naming convention. Yeah, I like that, though. I played that game on the Xbox 360, but never followed up with part 2 or 3. You really don't have to. If you didn't like the first one. Imagine a dark book, just for me. Just for me. I bet I could data mine all the actual words in that game and just turn it into a book. Just for me. It's a good story, and it's trapped in an okay game. It's a good story trapped in like 4 okay-ish games. Okay. We are going to do the right arm now. Let's get that sketch out. Let's get that sketch out. We're going to do the up one first, I guess. I'll never learn how to play card games enough to play Automatas nor or Paint the Line. Paint the Line is fun. It's a really quick one though. The rules are so fucking easy. You could figure it out in about 10 minutes, and you could probably figure it out like playing it. Um, but because there's not much to do in it, it's not that fun though. Like it's fun a little bit, but it's not like I don't go back to it. You know. I never played Noir though. I never played that one. Um, I have it. I just never played it. For context, there's a lot of Penny Arcade merchandise I bought, never used, and that's just one of them. Like I have the Blu-ray of the Automata short they did, the series they did. I still haven't watched it. I watched like the first episode that they put online, and then never watched the rest of it. I heard it was really good. Doug Jones is there. He's a robot in that. Uh, haven't finished it. Probably should. Because I really liked Automata. I don't know. I always wanted a comic book. I don't know what to tell you. My problem is they keep adapting things that should be comics into other things. I want comics. That's what I want to do. Like I think I'm like one of the only people who like bought it and loved it and wanted more of it. They did the Lookouts comic series from like Cryptozoic, I think, is who did it. I loved those. I was so into that storyline, and then it stopped. Yeah, Laura, that's exactly my problem. The Cryptozoic comics are so good. I loved them. I would have loved to have seen Automata from them. My preference is a lot, like, I want cartoons. Like, my Perfect Automata movie is a animated film. Like, it wouldn't be live action. It would be a cartoon. Like, I like cartoons. I don't know what to tell you. That's my preference for certain things. I would have wanted something. Yeah, Somewhere slash Bell. Yes. Yes. Same. Sorry, I'm eating a pretzel and also staring at my line work. Where it's anime and also CG, but like just the robots are CG, so it's like yes. I like stuff like that. Sorry, I'm eating a pretzel and staring at my line art. Not because my line art's good, I just need to stare at it sometimes. A lot of art is staring at what you've already drawn. I think that's okay. And also, I really need to eat this pretzel. So yeah, my Perfect Automata thing is a cartoon. 100%. And now we have cartoons that look the way I want an Automata movie to look like. So, like I want it to be like 12 frames or 24 frames per 12 frames per second, so it's kind of jittery. Sometimes I feel like having strong opinions about the media create while not working directly with that is a bad thing. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion on it. It just be like that sometimes. I have a lot of opinions about things I like. That is my stance. I think everyone should have an opinion about everything. And I have very strong ones. But also, I like to be surprised by like other people's interpretations of things. Like, obviously, I feel like... But then I can remember I can make my own art through dialect of stage art. Yes. You can bring to life a skeleton man who asks questions and torments people in Jackbox. That panel was extremely good, by the way. I don't know if anyone else watched it. I'm sure lots of people did. I watched the Jackbox panel with the skeleton man. I had a great time with it. One of my favorite panels that I watched all weekend. I love a good skeleton. But yeah, no, I like my own opinions, but also I'm always really happy to be surprised by other interpretations. But sometimes other people's interpretations suck. Sometimes the final product is bad. Like, I have mixed feelings about the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I like that there's a tiefling. I don't like that she's just human colored. I do like that she has a tail. I wish she looked more like a tiefling. She definitely just kind of looks like someone Googled Caliph from Critical Role, which is what it is. Caliph is not a tiefling, though. She's just an elf with antlers on. Keyleth, I don't know how it's pronounced. I watched the show. I liked the cartoon of Critical Role a lot. Um, they didn't call it Critical Role. They called it The Legends of Vox Machina. I had a good time with it, except it was too violent. It was too much blood and gore for no reason. It did not get the plot moving along. It was just kind of okay to look at. It wasn't very interesting. And it really made it, and here's my big complaint with how much fucking hyper violence there was in Critical Role from the get go in every episode without like any break. There's a scene much later, spoilers, I guess, where they all go back to like the hometown of one of the other characters and they see people that were killed and hung that are dressed to look like them as like a horrifying like experience. This was like meant to intimidate them basically as a group. And it was not as effective as like a scary scene, as like a really like frightening element, because we've seen so much fucking worse by that point. It was so violent prior to that, and it's like, yeah, sucks, I guess. That's pretty weird that they did that. So sorry for the spoiler, I guess. I think it worked really well in the D&D game. My understanding is that that's like an iconic moment for them. It, it was okay. It just did. I don't think it hit as hard as they wanted it to, because again, they have done so much fucking hyper violence at that point. It was hard for it to just hit as hard as they wanted it to. I don't know. It was fine. I feel like it definitely hit its pace much later in the series. It took a little bit for it to find its pacing. I'm excited for season 2. I think season 2 is going to be fun. Do I want that there? Or do I want... I think his arm needs to be thinned out a little bit. I'm not that strong. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to chip away. Chip away. Do you watch Castlevania? I did watch Castlevania. I had similar problems with Castlevania, but not quite the same problem with Castlevania. Because Castlevania was trying to be very serious. So I felt like it worked a little bit better in Castlevania. But the jump between comedy and seriousness in Vox Machina really made the hyper-violence very, very jarring. I do feel like it worked better in Castlevania. Because I think everyone kind of signed up for that, you know? Everyone's like, oh, we're on the same page. And it's beautifully animated. I just didn't like Castlevania that much. But yeah, the brutalness of the violence is a feature in Castlevania. I feel like it's a bug in Legends of Vox Machina. Like, I feel like it just doesn't add anything. It just is there. But, like, the violence levels are, like, identical in both shows. Like, when I'm saying hyper-violence, I mean it's, like Castlevania. It's probably, like, at that same tier. But I feel like it worked in Castlevania. Yeah. My feelings on it is, it's a lot of people who watched Avatar: The Last Airbender as kids, as teenagers, and were like, I'm going to be an animator when I grow up, but I'm going to make it edgy. And that's what they do now. That is 100% the people who did this. It's people like Spencer Wan, who's an incredible animator, who saw what they were doing on Avatar: The Last Airbender while he was 16, 17 years old, or however old he was when it came out. And now that he does it for a living, he can make all the blood and guts he wants. And it's not as fun as for me as it is for them. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it's like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that, actually. Yeah, I didn't really need to see Katara murder a dude, you know? I don't know if you watched the Owl House The Owl House has a lot of fight scenes that are really, really beautiful. That like are very reminiscent of Avatar: The Last Airbender, um, but like without the hyperviolence, obviously because they can't be hyperviolent on fucking Disney. But I feel like when you can't be hyperviolent, you get a lot more creative with what you do. You know, when you can't just make a guy bleed, you have to be a much more interesting with your choreography and like the consequences of like attacks that happen. You know, yeah, the Owl House is beautiful. Dana Terrace is incredible. She is a visionary. Um, but there's a fight scene between Amity and a character in season 2 that is very reminiscent of how Katara fights. Like it's very waterbendery and it's really cool. Which makes sense because Amity is inspired by Katara, which I don't think they. I didn't watch Vox Machina because I had an ick from Critical Role. I can't explain why. Mood, Laura, mood. I gave Critical Role like 20 or 30 episodes. Could not fucking get into it. And kill me if you must. This is my hot take. I hate Matt Mercer. That's my problem. I hate Matt Mercer as a DM. I'm sure he's a very nice man. He's perfectly fine as a cartoon voice actor. I don't enjoy the way he DMs. I had a little bit more fun with the cartoon. Mostly because it's breezy. It's not that long. But again, it is hyper violent. It is Castlevania levels of violent, but also trying to be funny at the same time. And it's like, pick one. Pick one, besties. Okay, I mean, this is about Vox Machina. Yeah. I also don't really like the art style of Vox Machina, but that's only because that one dude who works on like all the fucking he does a lot of DC comic stuff. I forget his fucking name. It's Paul something something. I just don't like his art style that much. It's just very cliche now because it's in so many other products. Like it just doesn't have its own identity. You know? It almost looks like fan art in like a very weird way. Like that this is the official art and it has no distinct it's not distinctly Vox Machina. Let me see if I can remember his name. It's Paul something. It begins with a B. Same, honestly. I watched CR and Burst. Paul Barassa. That's who it is. I knew it began with B. Let me just show you. To be clear, I'm not mocking Paul Barassa. He's an incredible, incredible art designer. He has very cool artwork. But I am going to show you 2 different series he worked on. So here's his Vox Machina character designs. You know, good. Here's his. I think this is a Teen Titans thing. They look like they're on the same show. Like there is no difference between these. He has an art style, and I think that's great that he has it. It doesn't give a lot of personal identity to the series that he designs, so they don't have like their own distinct look. It's very, very polished. It's very, very like cool. It's very polished, very cool. It's just it doesn't say anything, you know? Like these character designs don't say anything. And also, they're all very thin, tall, conventionally attractive people, which bothers me deeply. He has never drawn a fat man in his life, unless they're evil. Or die. This guy dies. And he's not fat, he's just a dwarf. Yeah, so all of his people are crazy tall, hot supermodels with no distinct personality to them. Yeah, D20 I've been having a lot of fun with. I'm on episode 2 of the Court of Fey one that they're doing. It's really good. Really, really good. But I couldn't get into Critical Role. The Fey one is so good. Yeah, I don't think D20 needs a lot of help. I think it's FAE. I think it's what the spelling they're using. I don't think they need a lot of help as a group to force roleplay. But the whole, like, there's a lot of, it's just so good. I like that it's like engaging roleplay. I hope she puts up like the rules that she used um for it at some point, so that other people can maybe like implement those rules for like engaging in roleplay. Because it's really good. It's really fun. Expand selected area. Okay. So that's him with the arm up. So now we're going to do with the arm down. Inks, inks, inks. So we'll hide the arm up. And we'll probably resketch the arm just so that we're on the same page. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat right now. Give me 1 second. Or it can just be without an arm. No, he needs to have an arm. All the D20 seasons are great. I need to finish the vampire one and then move on to Fae. The vampire one's the next one I'm going to watch. That's the one with Coffin Run, right? That's the one with Jasmine Biolar as like the GM. The Game Master. I'm really excited about that one. That's the first one I wanted to watch, but since like everyone's actively watching the Court of Fae and Cups, or whatever it's called, that's the one I wanted to watch before I got spoiled too much. I've already been crazy spoiled, so it doesn't fucking matter, I guess. Because everyone is posting very, very, very good fan art that I can't look at, but I have. So like I know that What's Her Face and him have like a tete-a-tete, a romance thing going on. I do know that. I'm very excited for that. I think that's gonna be cool. I think that's gonna be dope as shit. I do finally understand why people like Brennan so much. For some reason TikTok, a lot of Brennan content is just weird thirst traps. I don't understand it. I don't think he's an attractive man. I think he's fine. He's a normal looking man. I don't want to fuck him. That's really what it boils down to. So I was like, is this why people like him so much? Do they just think he's hot? Very strange to me, if that was why it was. No, he's just really good at what he does. Which I guess makes him more attractive to people who like that kind of thing. Again, I don't want to fuck this man. He's perfectly fine. It's just not for me. That's not for me, besties. I'm not gonna yuck your yums, but at the same time, I don't need to see thirst traps. I don't want to. It's so many thirst traps. He seems like a good sort. Yeah, he seems like he's very funny. He's very engaging. But I don't... Stop fucking him. Like, I don't... It's weird. It's weird. Like, some people are hot in the D&D community. Listen, I'm not gonna pretend that's not true. Fucking Ag Inc. has so many very hot people on it. When you put fucking Xavier Woods and Anna Prosser on the same side of the table, that's rude to me specifically. They're so pretty. I can't look at both of them at the same time or I'll die. But I don't want to see thirst traps about Brennan. Listen, the people were very horny, unironically, for the beetle from Molina. That was a for a moment there on TikTok. I'm glad we were on the same For You page and we both saw that. I'm glad we have that bonding experience now. People were very sincere about that. They're also very sincere about fucking the rat guy from Word Girl. Oh no, there was a lot of them. Oh, maybe you weren't on the same For You page. I guess I must have accidentally interacted with one. The rat guy from Word Girl. I said what I said. Which I've never seen. I was too old for Word Girl when it came into existence. I was at minimum in my 20s. No, there are people who want to fuck Justin the hot rat from Nim. It's me. I want to fuck Justin the hot rat from Nim. But you're right. I don't see a lot of thirst traps for him, even though he's very hot. See, he's hot and he's nice. He's a nice gentleman. And he's got a good voice. He's a nice guy. Yeah, you can bring him home to your mother, even though he's a rat. But he's a rat with, like, morals, you know? He's brave, he's strong, he's the whole package deal, besties. He's the package deal. We're talking about the hot rat from The Secret of Nim. I'm gonna find him for you so you can see how hot he is. Trying to find. Problem is, he's much hotter in motion than he is in stills. Like, the way he moves is so much of it. He's the hot rat from The Secret of Nim. I don't know what to tell you. So there's one. See if I can find another. There's one hot rat from Secret of Nim. He's still... Yeah, I can't put a GIF into, what's it called, though? Into... Yeah, it's not the best picture. He's got the little eyelashes. I guess I could save the GIF and probably put it over. Maybe. Let me try something real quick. He's just very attractive. He's just a very attractive man. Slash rat. Let me see. I think I can do this. Yeah, there we go. There's a GIF of the hot rat. Now do we understand why we all had a crush on the hot rat? We all had a crush on the hot rat. He was charming. He was kind. He was gentle. He had a nice voice. He would have been great with kids. Like, he was the package deal. Okay, I'm going to delete the hot rat now. Goodbye, hot rat. Goodbye, hot rat. We're going to leave you. But yeah, anyway. Listen, I am unapologetically a furry. For context here, I do not care. A fictional character is a fictional character. If they didn't want me to be attracted to them, they shouldn't have made them hot. That's my stance on that. They know what they're doing when they design hot cartoon characters. They know what they're doing. Is that going to close? It is going to close. Nice. It's always concerning. Like, maybe it won't close. Expand, selected area. Perfect. Okay, so we have two things now. I'm going to just delete that real quick. So let's close that. Alright. Alright, so let's get to coloring, I guess. Let's get to coloring. Alright, we'll start with the actual body. The rabbit from Rise of the Guardians. People did want to fuck that. I did not want to fuck that. He was Hugh Jackman, which was fine, I guess. I don't want to fuck Hugh Jackman as a rabbit. I didn't quite understand that one. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I understand when people want to fuck things. I'm like, you know what? Not for me, but I get it. I didn't quite understand that one. That one didn't quite. That one I couldn't quite parse it. Not for me. Not for me, besties. Technically, Hugh Jackrabbit, go to jail. Go to prison. Do not pass go. No. I crown you the King Trash. He's the worst. Truly, truly awful. Truly terrible. They're a horrible person. They come into my chat, they provide word crimes, and then they go home. I guess they don't have to go home, they're already there. Ba-ba-bum. Sometimes you have to go over 1,000 times just to get the right amount of blush. There we go. Let's do it over the shoulder as well. Over the shoulder as well. There we go. I'm not a mod. I can't yell them. Sorry. What if there was a Nightbot command that just had the bot say, hey, name, go to jail? I should do that. I will ask Starboots about how to set something up like that, because she set up all my Nightbot shit. She did all that for me, because she is an angel. An angel. Because I tried to set up Nightbot and it kept breaking. I don't understand how technology works. Even though Nightbot's not hard. It's not difficult. My brain was like, absolutely not, we can't do that. Nightbot is hard, in my humble opinion. In my humble onion, it was hard. Dark green. I'm sad I don't have the word jail emote anymore. Yeah, I also don't think I have it currently. I also don't think I have it. I might. Actually, I might be subscribed to Penny Arcade right now. I don't know. I never pay for my subscriptions. If I have them, it's because someone else purchased them for me. Which I appreciate very much. But I don't have money to spend on emotes. Is really my problem. That's just not a thing that I can justify buying temporary access to. Why does that not work? Yeah, I said it as a reference layer. Expand. Thank you. Expand selected area. There we go. Oh, whoops, I gotta eat. Honk honk, my friends. I must withdraw. Goodbye, beloved Laura from work. I will still be here. I don't know for how long, but I will still be here for a while. I don't know how long this is going to take. Laura was here, and now they're not. Now they're on. Forever. Not forever, just for now. Just for now. Just for now. I'm still here. And I'm who's important. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. Until I finish this, I guess. Should probably take a break. Sooner before later. No. I always use the wrong one. Let me just check the reference real quick. Yeah. Yep. I should probably play one of those video games I meant to before I sat here for 2.5 hours. Yeah, probably. Didn't mean to distract you. I played a bunch of Cult of the Lamb last night. And that's really all I wanted to do today, but I also really wanted to get this done. You're literally waiting for paint to dry. What? What are you doing? What are you painting? Are you painting minis? Everyone I know is painting minis right now. Yeah, everyone needs the Equestria Girls lore. At least that's my stance. Everybody needs the Equestria Girls lore. I would have died without it. I mean, if you ever want to watch Equestria Girls. The walls of the office. I cannot paint minis because the office is in shambles. Oh no. They did make Spike a dog. I have one half painted on a shelf. It's tragic. Oh no. I don't paint minis because they scare me and I'm afraid to ruin them. So I have a bunch of the unpainted Acquisitions Incorporated minis just on my desk. Because of course I do. Why wouldn't I have them? Of course I have those specific minis. I actually have 2 sets of the C-Team ones. C-Team ones? No, I have 2 sets of the upper management ones. Because I got them in that blind bag they did for Acquisitions Incorporated that one time. And I probably shouldn't have bought that because I owned everything I got already. Except for like the exclusive stuff that they made. And the exclusive that they made was not worth the, whatever, $50 or $60 it was. However much fucking money it was. I got the Janara shirt, which is now in the shop. So it didn't matter. It wasn't really like an exclusive. The standees, which I don't regret. Let's do the crown real quick. I think my problem with the crown is that I was doing it in line art, and I don't think it needs to be line art. I think it just needs to be yellow. It should probably be bigger than that, I think. Yeah, I think it's going to be bigger than that, slightly. I think it's going to be... Yeah, that's probably better. That looks pretty good. I also learned that I had to get an OLED magnifying lamp because my up vision close vision sucks. Yeah, my friend, I have a friend who does stitching, like needle stitch stuff, and they have one of those, like a headgear thing. I painted a quarter machine skeleton archer as a practice to get over the fear. I should probably just dive into it and just start doing stuff like that. But again, I'm scared. I'm scared. What if I mess it up? I also just don't want to buy that much paint. Because I know I'm going to need a lot of colors. Like, Jim is like 3 different colors of purple. That's so many purples. That's so much purple, is the thing. Alright, let's do... Let's do the... maybe I'll do the freckles after. I think I'll do the freckles after. But I will do the scar real quick. It's nice and big. I have a scar. Basically right there. It's not this noticeable though. But that's why he has a scar. Because of me. It's a me, Mario. I think I want this to go more underneath. And have it just a little bit of texture. Yeah, I like that. Let me just do this real quick. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of texture. Yeah, I like that. Mario gave you a scar. It's a me. No, I got a scar because I fell down. I fell down running to catch the bus. That's how I got that scar. It's not a very entertaining story. Shirt, I guess. Oh, what's to call this? It's a turtleneck without sleeves, so it's something. It's a choice. Yeah, I was running to catch the bus, running, and then I fell, and then I went home and was like, Mom, I need a Band-Aid. And she looked at me and was like, you are not going to school, because she could see my chin bone through my big old wound. It didn't hurt, which is the only reason why I didn't think it was that bad. It didn't hurt that bad, so I was like, it's not that bad. Nope, it was worse than I thought it was. It was really bad, actually. Don't quite like that. Yeah, I think it's better. Just want a little bit of texture on them. Bum, bum, bum. Let's do the... We'll do the freckles on the arms, I guess. Just to make sure. My scar stories are boring too. I fell in the bathtub, closed a pocket knife on myself, existed in a kitchen. Existed in a kitchen. That's a new one. I have a scar on my thumb from when I worked. I used to work at a sandwich shop called Schlotsky's, which is, yes, a hell of a name. Schlotsky's. They were fine. They were known for like sourdough. That was like their big thing. Anyway, they were perfectly acceptable sandwiches. Nothing special, nothing to write home about. I used to work there. I was cutting up like some of the lunch meat, because we would portion it out for a full sandwich, and then we would cut the portion in half for a half sandwich. So I was cutting up a bunch of half sandwiches for like the lunchtime rush, and I took a serrated blade and went straight through the top of my thumb, through the nail, stared at it because it didn't hurt, because I guess because I was like so aware of it, and there was just blood everywhere. We had to throw away all the meat that was like in that area. We had to throw away like everything on that station right before the lunchtime rush. I had to go to the hospital. They couldn't put stitches on it because of where it was. So they just had to use that stitch glue stuff. And then I had to wait for the nail bed to grow out so I could rip off the half of the nail that I cut halfway through. It was bad. It was really bad. It was bad. And you can still kind of see the scar that I have. It's not quite super noticeable. I've been to Schlotsky's SP. I can't remember if did they have the unhinged hamster commercials? I don't remember if they had unhinged hamster commercials. I think that was Quiznos. I think you're thinking of Quiznos, because Quiznos had some unhinged commercials. Can we go back to talking about Sexy Ratman? Thanks. Well, now we're talking about unhinged hamsters. Are you into unhinged hamsters? Are those sexy? Maybe? Question mark? I say it was Quiznos. Thank you, Desert Leviathan. Also, welcome to the chat. My scars were wet bathroom, sharp bathroom, rabbit bite, tennis ball can. Jesus. How did you get a scar from a tennis ball can, if you don't mind me asking? Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would like to know. You want to know how I got these scars? Tennis ball can. Like, I would like to know how you got that scar. Specifically, that one. Alright, let's do these guys. I don't know what to call them. I'm just not going to label things anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't care. They got bigger in the second iteration. Ba-ba-bum. They got the metal pop lids for freshness, and I was trying to open it with one hand. Bad. Oh no. Yeah, they do have the metal lid. Why is that? Alright, I need to get more juice, so I'm going to give us a little bit of a break. So also I can finish my pretzel. So I'm going to put us on AFK. BRB. Give me just a couple minutes. came back to a very strange conversation. Expose tennis balls to open air, they ripen and hatch into demon spiders. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, hello. I have returned. I got juice, I went to the bathroom, I'm gonna eat more pretzels. We're almost done coloring. Or at least coloring this part. There's not a lot to color. Oh shit, it's telling me to do it all. Let's do... Because I'm not really doing a whole lot of shadowing. I'm looking into a way to get it to like reflect what colors are on the screen. So we're just kind of doing like a texture just to make it texturally interesting. Which isn't super obvious. I love a good juice. It's Tang, if anyone's curious. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm drinking. I'm almost done my pretzels. Did I? Yeah, I did. Alright. Let's do this. Let's do this. Do this a little bit. Astronaut. It is astronaut juice. You are correct. It is indeed astronaut juice. I love astronaut juice. Let's get... Nope, that's not what I meant to do at all. It's the wrong textures. I want this one, I think. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the fucker. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically that. We're gonna add a little bit of like highlight to the shirt just so that it's a little bit obvious like where a light source is coming from, but I don't think it's gonna be too much. That might be like the most we do. I just want to have like a vague idea that it might be shiny. But I don't want to do like too many hard shadows or anything like that. I'll probably do that on the chin as well. Don't think I've had Tang since like 1992. It tastes exactly the way you remember. It's too much sugar. It is what it is. I like it, but it's gross. It's not a good flavor. I just like it. Come on. Be small. There we go. Alright. Alrighty. We are going to do, real quick, face. We're going to put that in its own folder. So let's sketch out a face real quick. So this is the motion of the face. So the nose will go there. The mouth will go there. Eyes will go there. The eyes are nice and big on my character, which is nice. And the eyebrow will go way up here. So that's kind of basically what we're going for the face. He's definitely got a very chillaxed, I just smoked weed kind of vibe, expression-wise. But we have to do two different faces. We have to do a mouth open and a mouth closed. So I'm going to make another folder for mouths. 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 So we'll do the closed first, because that's always easier. At least for me. I don't know if it's actually easier. It's easier for me. It's easier for me. I have acquired melon Mountain Dew. Gross. That's too much for me. It's too much, man. But again, I don't drink soda anymore. Which makes other things taste much sweeter. Now that I'm not constantly drinking my sugar. I will say that. I still don't know if I can taste LaCroix. I haven't tried. I suspect maybe. I'm not quite there yet, though, I don't think. So there's the closed mouth, the meow meow. And then we'll do open underneath, which is going to use the same line art as the top one, but just opened. And then we're going to do a base color underneath. Color. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. I already don't like that line art. I already hate that, so we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. You can't convince me LaCroix is real. It is real, in that you can purchase it. I don't know if everyone else can taste it and I'm just wrong, or if there is no taste and they're just fucking punking me, you know? Like, that's what I don't understand. Does it have a taste? I don't think so. I don't think it does. I think that's the part that's a punk job. I think that's the part that's a joke. Teeth. I think that's the part that's fake. That's the part that doesn't feel real. I'm sad that you can only get Mountain Dew Peach from Fast Food Place. They don't sell it in the stores, and I'm mad that Whiteout is good. Whiteout was really good. Whiteout was like the white grape one. That one did slap. That one was good. I just don't like these at all yet. I don't like this expression, I think is the problem. Let me try this one real quick again. We'll do a slightly darker line art. A little bit thinner. So that's where the ear is, and that's where the eye is going to be. There we go. It's a little bit better. Alright, and let's do a slightly darker one for like final stuff. We still have live wire in cans, I thought, but they have been doing all their new flavors here without any sorts of warning, LMAO. I don't know. I don't drink Mountain Dew anymore. Not because I don't want to, but because I'm old and it makes my tummy hurt. And it's no longer worth it. I no longer like it enough to have the tummy ache it gives me. It hurts too much. It's too much, man. I think I just had to spend more time drawing it. It's got a little kitty cat mouth. And sharp fangs. We should buy a new gallbladder off Amazon. They do have like pills you can take that help with like digesting fats. I have kind of looked into those. Not because I want to like eat a lot more fat, but like if I have to go out to dinner, it might be nice to have those. I feel like I like it too much, so I stopped buying it, but I'll forever miss whiteout. Yeah, the whiteout was really good. Again, that was like the white grape one. That one slapped. I thought they still made that though. Um, I thought they'd only stopped it in America. I thought Canada still had it. Maybe they stopped it for everywhere. But no, I have thought about getting the pills that let you. They are basically just like digestive enzymes that you chew in a tablet. I've thought about that, so if I go out to eat, or if I'm about to stream and I have to eat first, I might do that. But I don't know. I also don't want the temptation to eat fatty foods all the time anymore. So that's a big factor why I haven't. My tummy hurts too much. Alright. So that's... When I'm talking, he's going to be looking at you. When I'm playing video games, it's going to be more like this way. So when his mouth is closed, he's going to be looking forward, and when he's like looking at you, he'll do that little jump that he does, and then. But I will do that later. That's not going to be on that one. Okay. I probably should have sketched this out first, but it doesn't matter now. Now we're on the same page. So we're going to make that a little bit lower. We'll do the closed line art first, which is to say this stuff. And the nose. Because the closed is always going to be there. It's just going to be underneath the open stuff. I'm just sitting here waiting for Fortnite leaks for the new season that I can actually play today and don't really need to see the leaks for. I want Lady Gaga to be real. I mean, Ariana Grande's in there, so why not Lady Gaga? Why not Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's do the teeth real quick. Because the teeth are always going to be there whether his mouth is closed or open. So they're going to be white. Big chompers. Big jumps. Fortnite, another reason to finish painting the office. Vid, do you play Fortnite? Is this a joke or is this real? You did make us play Fantasy Fortnite once. That did happen. I'm not judging you for the record. I didn't know that about you. You did make us play Fantasy Fortnite. That did happen. That was very fun. I enjoyed that. Crow enjoyed it more than I did, I think. He loves an excuse to murder people. He loves a good reason. My players have sending compacts, which is a thing I stole from Vid. I asked permission. I didn't steal it. So they get to text Crow if they want, and then Crow just leaves them on red. So I added the ability to leave people on red. Because Crow does not care about them. Crow does not give a shit about these people. He doesn't want to talk to them. Yes, I do play Fortnite, not obsessively, but it is genuinely fun. Yeah, my brother and Onyx Oblivion both play, not together, just at the same time. Yeah, I added it specifically so that Crow can leave them on red. I had to. I had to. Crow is a bad person, and he would. He might text back Edmund because he kind of flirted with Edmund, but Edmund hasn't texted him yet. So, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Edmund is our warlock, for the record. Not our warlock, I guess my warlock. The warlock? It's so weird when it's not like when I'm the DM now, because now it's like them versus us. Now it's I'm not in the party at all. It's a different relationship, to be sure. It's a different relationship. Elaborate on this fantasy fortnight. So, we were trying to win a house for a god. So that's the short version of it. We were in like a competition to get like an old abandoned temple so that it could be, yeah, Bugs Bunny meme, our warlock, exactly, the people's warlock, so that we could all like earn the temple for this god that needed housing. Gods that needed housing. They were like kid gods. They were children gods, teen gods. So we had to kill a bunch of people in order to do it, and we were not the only people interested in this temple for our god. So there was a lot of people we had to kill. And we did, and it was fun. That's a shitty way to explain it. But it was set up like Fortnite, like it shrunk. We found weapon and gear as we went along. We probably could have fished. We didn't. I didn't, anyway. One of our players turns into a fish. Or was a fish. Was a fish. Like a fish person. Okay, yeah. Open. So now his mouth can open and close. I don't know why it looks like that. Oh, I know why it looks like that. There we go. So now his mouth can open and close. Open, close. Open, close. Let me live. The limited scrolls of Stonewall, this is before they introduced no build, and loot chests, and the shrinking storm on the big map and the shrunk from the dice roll direction. Yeah. Like, I've never played Fortnite, to be clear. I knew it was fantasy Fortnite. I've never, like, I played maybe a couple rounds of Fortnite my whole life. So for me, it was just Dungeons & Dragons. I'm gonna give the teeth a little bit of an outline, not a big one. Just a little bit. It's a bit of an outline. It's a teeny tiny outline. It's a little outline. There we go. There we go. And that goes underneath the open mouth. So when he opens his mouth, you can't see that part. There we go. Alright, let me save real quick, because it's been a hot minute since I saved. Yeah, it was just fast combat with dumb enemies, but they were all like weirdly fun and themed. It was really good. We met a wizard who sucked and was weird. I am not good at describing this. I can barely remember what happens in my real life. Definitely can't remember what happens to fucking Crow. There was a Modron named Bill. She was triangle shaped and I did not trust her. Even though she's a very nice person. And she's not evil, so I could have trusted her. There was no reason not to. I just assumed she was evil based on her name. And her shape. The combination, really. It was a combination of name and shape. Yeah, I did see that Punch Crunch'em was described as shitty Duke Nukem. That was very good. In your defense, he was great. He was the best Duke Nukem. God, Punch Crunch'em. Yeah, I like naming characters. So far, they haven't met too many joke characters. So far, everyone's only met like real characters I intend to keep. But I'm excited to start making up horse shit. I'm excited. It was an invoice joke. I'm such an idiot. Bill the Triangle. What drugs was I on? Yeah, I definitely thought it was evil. Because of the only other Bill Triangle I know. There's one Bill Triangle. And he's evil. He's so evil. Is the problem. Okay. Now we can go to eyes. Eyes, eyes, eyes. So again, we'll start with the closed eye. Closed. And then we'll do the open eye on top of it. Yeah, I thought it was a reference to Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. It wasn't at all. It was just an invoice joke. She was very nice. She gave Crow a lot of money because I bet a lot of money on myself. Technically, I bet it on the party, but Crow was only thinking of himself. I bet on the party because I know we're the heroes and I knew we were going to win. So there was no risk there. There was no risk to the gambling. I've tried to make a detailed world full of well-developed characters from my current game, but of course the NPC they fixed it on is the off-the-cuff joke about Orc Larry who runs a deli. Not to be confused with Dwarf Larry. What does Dwarf Larry run? Does he run a cheese place? Can they get married? In the back of my mind, maybe it was. Maybe. Bill's gonna come back next time we play and be the big bad evil. Dun, dun, dun. Let's move that up just a bit. Alright, so there's the eyeball closed. Hang on, Dwarf Rally sounds like a fun racing game. Alright, so let's do open real quick. Actually, yeah, open. Orc Larry and Dwarf Larry used to compete when they were both just called Larrys, and now they've made a piece with the co-sponsor youth soccer tournament team. That's good for them. Larry and Larry. I think they should get married. I think you should marry Larry and Larry. Chase's characters always want to bet on things. Chase's characters always want to bet on things, so I made Bill and I finally learned how odds worked. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was just I assumed I was going to win. There was no reason to assume I wasn't going to win. Because I'm the main character. Not the main character, but like Crow is the main, like a character. It's not like we weren't going to win the temple, you know? Like, of course we were. Of course we were going to win the temple. Alright. Alright, so now we'll do yellow. da. Da, 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 da. Do I like that, or is that bad? I might hate that. Hmm. The closed might have to be different from the actual underline part. I think that's just what's going to have to happen. So we're going to close you out real quick. It just has to be a thinner line, I think. I think that's just what's going to have to be. I thought that would work better than it did. Do I like that? I think so. Yeah, I think I do. I do think I like it. I have to stare at this for a minute. Unless you threw the match for the Archwitch of Death, Bim Gigglefur. Crow would never know. Crow would never. No. Listen, I loved Bim Gigglefur. I was never going to throw the match for Bim Gigglefur. And Crow absolutely wouldn't. If Crow wasn't genuinely afraid of him, because he definitely fucking was, he would have killed Bim Gigglefur. Done my pretzel. I think that's the problem. I think it just needs to be like that. So he looks a little bit more awake. Let me hide the sketch. Yeah, I do like that a bit more. I do. Let's see if I can remember where this purple part is. Okay, so it's on the freckles somewhere. I think I don't like this. Yeah, okay. I do like that a bit more. He looks very weird without his eyebrow. Nope. He looks very strange without his eyebrow. To be fair, Bim did finger of death on a guy for backtalking. That happened, and that guy instantly died. So that Bim Gigglefur could have killed me at any moment in time. But Crow is not. Crow knows when to pick a fight. He's not going to pick fights he can't win. He can't win against Bim Gigglefur, and he did know that. He did think he could beat the guy who kidnapped him, though. And he's kind of mad he didn't get a chance to. Even though they kind of became friends eventually. I'm just going to put eyebrow on its own layer. It was funny, and I had to show Bim burning his highest level spells in case you all did fight him. Listen, I'm so glad we didn't fight him. Because we all would have died. We could not have beaten Bim. I don't think we could have. I don't think we would have survived that fight. I did almost kill my party last week. This week, I mean. They're fine now. I'm still learning combat balance, so when D&D Beyond said, oh, this combat will be difficult, I was like, yeah, I want it to be kind of hard. But I did almost kill our wizard. Not on purpose. Not because I wanted to. It just she got down to like 8 HP. Not that she had a whole lot of HP to begin with. Um, but I did almost kill her. It took them. They didn't know what they were fighting until the artificer finally managed to pass a check. No, was it the artificer? No, the wizard did pass the check. I had to tell them they were fighting something called a black pudding. Yeah, CR is not always true. That's true. But sometimes CR is very true. Sometimes the challenge rating is correct. Sometimes it's true as hell. Anyway. Cool beans. Anyway, what happened was I decided to have them fight against something called a black pudding, which if you don't know what that is, it's an underdark creature that is like an amorphous slime that disappears as soon as it hits water, and if it's not moving, you can't fucking see it. And also, they were in a very dark well, so it was really hard to see. So it got a surprise round first and foremost, because nobody's passive perception was high enough to hit it. And even though I had them roll perception checks, nobody hit the 17 I needed them to hit in order to see it. Even though a lot of them have like +6, like fucking Chase's character is crazy perceptive. His passive perception's 15, which is fucking ridiculous. Obscene. That's too many's. That's too many. Anyway, I wanted it to be hard to see because I wanted to get a surprise round. So they started killing the black pudding, and then black puddings, if you don't know, are a D&D monster that if they hit half HP, they split into two, and then you have two of them to deal with. It doesn't have a lot of HP at that point because it splits the HP down the middle as well, so I think each one had like 11 HP. But they just had a hard time hitting it, even though it has like a CR. It's got a very low AC. It has a lot of immunities, so lightning wasn't doing anything to it. Cold wasn't doing anything to it. Piercing wasn't doing anything to it. Or not piercing. I think it was slashing wasn't doing anything to it. Piercing was doing something. So that's the yellow. Okay. Audience. Alrighty, so when his mouth is open and he's looking to the audience, he's going to be looking like this. We just get that blue that's highlighted in there. I guess I can just lock it and I won't have to do anything. Yeah. So that's what he's going to look like when he's talking to you guys. His hand's going to be up and he's going to look directly at the camera. And then he's got one that's going to be forward. We just make it visible but small. So I make it the right size. And then he's going to have one where he's looking like at what he's doing. So that is tentatively what I'm doing. He's got such a personality. Yeah, thank you. He has to have a lot of character or else what's the point, you know? I want him to be fun and cool and engaging. I still haven't decided if this is like a highlight in his eye or if it's like an actual color of his eye. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think his forehead is a little too tall. I might fix it off screen. Because I don't feel like dealing with that. I think I might be done for the evening. My back kind of hurts, and I kind of want to lay down. But I think we got a lot done in about 3 hours. I might fuck with it off screen just to reorganize some stuff. Just because my layout My folder is now a mess. Like this, everything that's on here is not organized, not labeled. And I need to label that, and that's gonna be boring to watch. So thank you all so much for coming. I had a really good time. Thank you for keeping me productive. I think next time we're streaming is Monday. We might still be on the old PNG tuber then, unless I can finish this tomorrow. Maybe I might stream tomorrow. I might stream tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. Haven't thought about it yet. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I will see you eventually. Good night. Have fun. Goodbye.